This is Eric Anderson in the booth with Matt Osborne right now.
Hello.
We are streaming a 2-5 game with a $1,500 max buy-in, but it's a match stack, and there was a wild hand right before we started streaming. There was a 7-way all-in on a double board PLO bomb pot, and you can guess the guy in the 2 seat has like $3,500 right there.
Oh, wow.
He chopped the top and he chopped the bottom, so he got half the pot. The guy in the I think it's Hee-Haw in the 6 got half of the bottom, and I think it was the 7 seat there got half of the top. I'm not sure exactly what happened. There were chips all over. You could see Brian in there did a fabulous job keeping everything straight. I'm glad I wasn't having to do that. But right now, I just swapped out the deck with the RFID cards, and I'm going around. I'm getting everybody's name and chip counts, and we're going to start streaming. This is on a 30-minute delay, so this all happened 30 minutes ago. I'm super excited. This is going to be the VPIP game that we tried to do the other day, but we didn't have enough alternates, so it didn't ever come in play. This time we have 2 full tables running of 2-5, and they're excited to get on here. That outside table's been waiting and playing, and so every hour we're going to swap out we're going to look up the lowest VPIP and kick off the 3 people with the lowest VPIP and bring on 3 new players. And here I am explaining the rules of the RFID table.
I'm so excited for this experiment. We've been trying to get this game up and running for a couple of weeks now in discussion. The whole concept is experimental and created by you and Eddie.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of Eddie, he will be here to relieve me in just a few minutes. At 8 o'clock, he said he'd be here. And then I'm going to run the action tracker. And it's going to be super fun. So we've got new equipment in here. I went out to Micro Center and bought new microphones and stuff like that, new pop magazines. All right. Hold it. We just touch the button, and then we press 10, and then we say OK, and then say next.
Yeah, so all the players involved in this game, everybody knows on both tables about the VPIP.
Yep.
They understand what the rules are and the...
Yeah, some people on Facebook were complaining that they would hate to, drive for 2 hours and then get kicked off the table. And I said, that's not everywhere. We've got 26 tables that's not the policy. But on the stream table, nobody wants to watch you fold for 2 hours.
That's exactly right.
So to keep it fun and engaging, we're going to do the VPIP, and every hour we're going to boot off the guys that aren't playing and put them on there with some people that want to play.
Yeah, we're very excited to see this play out. Both tables are excited. They signed up knowing that this was a VPIP experiment, so everybody on this is aware of what's going on and excited to contribute to the fun.
Yeah, and this is actually Pedro's game. That's what we're going to call it.
Thank you, Pedro.
Yeah, he came up to me last week and said, "Hey, man, I can get you 2 tables that want to stream." And I didn't know him, and I added him on Facebook. We had like 300 mutual friends. So I went, okay, this guy knows some poker people down in the Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana area. And he called me a couple days ago and said, "Man, kudos to you. This is way harder than I thought it was going to be." He goes, "I got 5 guys for sure." I said, "What happened to the 18 you said were coming?" He goes, "Man." He goes, "Everybody's bailing on me, but I got 5 guys locked in." I said, "Okay, I'll see if I can fill in the other 5." And we got a full 2 tables. We got 18 running, and I think a couple alternates waiting.
I think so. And the energy in the room is really high.
It'll be really fun.
Yeah, this is a fun night. If you want to participate, make your way to Poker House Dallas. 1676 Regal Row in Dallas. Come on down. So we'll keep adding people to the list as long as you guys want to play. I believe we're going to be streaming until 10 p.m.
Go ahead and say next hand. For sure 10 p.m., maybe a little longer. I'm going to go help Min out with the action tracker.
All right.
I'll be right back.
All right. Well, we're excited. The graphics will be kicking in soon as the RFID cards get switched out. Like he said, it's on a 30-minute delay, so any time now we should see graphics come up. Once again, my name is Matthew Osborne. I'm one of the 2 GMs here at Poker House Dallas. Thank you guys for joining in. Tammy, hello. So the game started at 6 o'clock, and they've been playing for a little bit now. I believe it was at 6 o'clock. The live stream is just now starting to come up. So we let them play for a bit, get acclimated to the tables. All right, we have cards. We are official. Graphics are up and running. Many of these players are new to us, but a couple of them we've seen throughout the room. And this is a 2-5 game. So it is a match stack game, and there's a feeder table, and there's also the live stream game. The lowest 3 VPIP players every hour will be cycled out back to the feeder table, and the feeder table will bring in 3 new players that the table will have to learn on the live stream. All right, we've got Jake here with pocket queens. He's raised it up to 40. We go with action. And for those that are listening, I can tell you this has been an action-heavy table. So they did come here to play. There's been fireworks on every hand that we've watched. It looks like we're going 4-way to a pot. And Hee-Haw connects with top pair. He's got a backdoor redraw. You can hear Eddie or Eric coming in the background explaining the delay and the different rules. Sorry, so we'll have Eddie in here with me here shortly. Turn is a 9 of hearts. We do have a heart draw brewing here. A potential flush, potential straight. Our straight did connect. Once again, we got Coldest One versus Jake. These two have battled in a couple of pots already. We did not get the heart that Jake was wanting. And Coldest One's going to take it down. So now you can see the chip counts. Once again, for those that are just now starting to come on, this is a 2-5 live stream table with a VPIP twist. VPIP stands for voluntarily put in pot. The VPIP twist is every hour. We're going to look at the VPIP percentages, and the bottom 3 players, the players that are not playing hands, will be moved over to the feeder table that is off camera, and 3 players from that feeder table will come in to their seats on camera. And this will happen every hour. All the players involved on both tables are aware of the twist. And we're excited. This is an experimental concept created here at Poker House Dallas. And something we've been wanting to see on camera for quite a while. And the entire experiment is simply to generate action and have a action-heavy stream that is enjoyable to watch. Chris Mays, welcome to the stream. We've got a classic race, Ace King versus Ace Queen. From here, I'm thinking JB has not seen Will play too many hands. He hasn't been involved in too many pots quite yet. This move probably stands out just a bit.
touch any buttons.
All right. So into the production room right now is Pedro coming into the room. He's putting on his headset now. This is Pedro's game. He's going to come in and join us for just a bit. Pedro, welcome to the stream.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for bringing the game here. This is exciting.
Is it? Has it been so far?
It has been. It has been. We're just now, we haven't had too many hands on camera. So I think we're probably 10 minutes in now where the stream has been able to view the whole cards, see what the action looks like, get to know some of these players that are new here.
Mm-hmm. Well, it happens. Oh,
But they're definitely not shy.
oh, but I heard the bomb pot's been getting crazy.
The bomb pot was nuts.
I was out there talking to TJ for a while, picking his brain.
Oh, yeah. Cloutier.
Yeah,
Is he still in the tournament?
No, he's out. The guy I brought though, Ken Griffin. Apparently, he won a bracelet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he wanted to come try it out. He busted earlier on the table, in the bomb pot.
All right. 10-8, one gap connected. Suited hand. These are hands that we've seen now Mr. Pham like to play. We saw this earlier. He was involved in a big pot with 10-8 and flopped 2 pair. It did not go his way. So,
This is Billy right here. Oh, Billy, we call him Crazy Billy at Choctaw.
that's awesome. Oh, speaking of, this is the hand. So that's a rookie mistake, you can see. I forget that we're on a 30-minute delay.
Teddy's got kings. Oh my God, this is gonna get nasty. Huh?
There are some fireworks in this hand. It does not go the way that you think it would go. Look at this. So top 2 pair for Pham. Teddy doesn't even see it coming and cold. This flops the whole flush. Yes. So now he's going to double check. Trying to scare off the flush draws. So Pham's going to put out a raise. And as you can expect, so this is going to narrow the field. And for those listening, we're going to take small pauses from time to time so that you can hear the table talk when it's possible.
Good fuck. That's good, right? Oh, this guy's got kings. He's like,
Yeah. Teddy is very confused by what's gone on.
I'm sorry, Teddy. I'm learning.
Sometimes you just have to let him go.
He folded kings. That was sick.
It is. And now the ace comes out. And at this point,
He slows
I can
down.
only guess that Pham thinks that his 2 pair has to still be good and he's got to chase off the draw. He's probably hoping that Coldest hit the ace. And then he's coming along, so you're going to put out a sizable bet. And he goes all in. He does not want to wait anymore. Coldest is probably putting Pham on the ace of diamonds. Does not want to see another diamond come out. Does not want him to draw to it cheap. I just don't see any way that Pham could make a call here. Not for his entire stack. You can see that he's trying to make sense of this.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stream for those that just came on. This is a 2-5 VPIP game. This is a game that was brought to us by Pedro. So we are happy to host his 2-5 game.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna be doing some things.
So Pedro's got lots of ideas and lots of games coming up. So you'll be hearing that name quite a bit in the near future. So this is a 2-5 VPIP. I have a few people asking. VPIP is voluntarily put in pot. So there's a percentage that will be calculated with every hour. And the bottom 3 players that played the least hands voluntarily will be removed from the table and put on a feeder table. And then 3 players from the feeder table will be moved back to the live stream. And this is going to happen every hour. Everybody involved in the game is aware of what the VPIP concept is for this game. And they all excitedly signed up to be a part of it.
Yeah, should make some interesting pots.
We're looking for a lot of fireworks. We are still adding names to the list. So if you feel like this is a game that you'd like to be a part of on a Saturday night, make your way down. 1676 Regal Row, Dallas, Texas. Poker House, Dallas. Come on in, sign up. Tell them you want to be on the VPIP live stream list. And they'll get you added. I'd also like to hear for the viewers that are watching this. Let us know what you think of this concept as it plays out. Do you like it? Are you enjoying the extra action on the stream? Is it a little bit too radical of a concept? We're always looking for feedback. For those out there that don't want to be a part of the live stream game, don't want to be a part of the VPIP game, we do have other games in the room being played right now. So there's quite a few action cash tables going. We're still waiting for Mr. Pham to make his decision on this hand. I just don't see any way that he could possibly call. He's doing a lot of theatrics, trying to get a read on Coldest. Coldest is just not moving, not giving him any info whatsoever. We have Joel dealing this game right now. Tina, thank you for your comment.
He folded.
He did fold. We knew it had to be coming. He had to just logic his way through.
Did he show?
He does. He showed it.
Oh.
They're commenting on it. Tina says she loves this concept, makes for great action, gives more people a chance to play on the stream.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Tina.
Let's make you famous.
Or Tiny. I keep saying Tina. Sorry, I'm not even looking at it completely. It's Tiny. My apologies. That's what we want to hear. If this is something that is entertaining our group that's out there that's watching, that's exactly what we're trying to do. Provide something that's a little bit different. There's quite a few streams out there. There's a lot of great streams to enjoy. We just want to see if we can provide a little bit different, new content that you don't see every day. Here at Poker House, we like to innovate.
Yeah, Jacob's he's the man out there at Choctaw on the 2-5. So
That's awesome.
and I don't know who this Teddy guy is, but
Teddy's been getting some hands. He's just not able to connect with them. So the deck likes to start out teasing him in the beginning, and then it just goes cold from the flop on.
I think we got a pretty good mixture.
Yeah,
The Colonel, that guy's he's a trip too.
The Cardinal I've seen in here.
Yeah.
Incredibly nice guy.
Oh man, his boy Joe, he was set up for the stream, came in, best fit I've seen on. He was ready, he was flashy, looking good.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, save me a spot for next week. I was like, for sure? He's like, yeah. I said, okay. So he's ready for next week. But I said, was that your only fit that looked good? He goes, you know I got good fits. I was like, yeah. Hey, he's a cool dude.
I know Joe well.
Yeah.
Happy to see him. He's always got a fly hat on, always got some kind of snakeskin boots. All right. Flops the nuts. Coldest one just cannot miss right now. Everything is hitting him. This is his second flopped flush. He's going to try and lead out, hoping it looks like he's just trying to feed into this. Will with his top pair. 2 pair. This is going to hurt Will.
No, Will. He's going to go. He's going to
It does. This just screams. You can't imagine Coldest hitting another flop flush. Not after the last one. Everything about this looks like a miss.
Oh, he was a call. He wasn't too
Yeah.
bad.
Look at that. Yeah, they're seeing a second flop flush. There it is. New chip counts up on the board. Coldest is just moving up the list.
He's having a good time.
He is.
I'm glad. That was my friend Jacob. He told him if I can get him in there.
Tammy, you're absolutely correct. Coldest is definitely not running cold tonight. It's probably the best comment so far. He cannot miss. Even off camera before the stream started, Coldest was running super, super hot. It'll be fun to see if he can maintain. But because he's getting cards that are connecting, he's going to have a high VPIP, so we'll see him for another hour for sure. Hee Haw is a player that's played around Dallas for, I don't know, the 20 years that I've known him.
I got Matt coming too.
Yeah?
He was supposed to be on the. He just woke up. He was DJing into. I was just okay. So I came and played the tournament here the other day. I lost. I was like, I'm gonna go play. I'm gonna go do a late night session at Choctaw. I run into Matt over there. I was like, I'm going home. I'm going to Shreveport tomorrow. And he's
Uh-oh.
like- but yeah,
Oh, Coldest one folds. I didn't even know he had the ability. So he's going to take a breather, probably still stacking some of those chips. Hee Haw finally found a hand that he could get in with for just a bit. 7-5, one gap, suited connected, one gap. There it is. Cardinals got queen 10. There we go. Just a little bit of an action builder. Cardinal raises it to 60. We do get action. Not enough to scare anybody away. Just builds the pot up. And there we go. Queen, 8, 9, top pair for Colonel. Hee Haw does have a gut shot draw. Bam has a backdoor flush draw. The diamond draw from Will. We've seen diamonds connecting quite a bit. Once again, Teddy's completely missed the flop. Will also has a gut shot straight draw to go with his diamond draw. We're seeing the outs right now. There we go. 4 spades connects to no hand. Didn't improve anybody. We can see that Cardinal 72% to win with the top pair. He's also got the gut shot draw, hoping to connect a jack.
I think he's debating the pot or go.
Wow.
That was crazy. Huh?
Yeah. This jack might get a little value out of Will with the jack.
You see how he looked at his chips?
Yeah. So Cardinal's now knowing he's got the straight.
I think that's the biggest tell in cash games. You ever notice that?
Always.
I wear glasses, so.
And there it goes. Welcome to the stream. We've got some new viewers coming on. Thank you for joining us tonight. Wonderful weather outside. October 1st, another great day. Streaming some fun action. A new VPIP concept. We tried to get this game up and running with a 5-10 the other day and couldn't quite get enough players to fill it. We're excited to get the experiment going tonight with the 2-5 game.
I think it gives a good even playing field because you got your people who are skillful. I can buy in with 500 and wipe you out. And Okay, well, come try it. You
Come
know?
on down.
And you got your people who don't care about the money, and they'll do what they want to do.
And that's exactly. Colt wakes up, pocket queens, finally joins the fray, puts a raise out for 30, just a feeler raise, see what people do.
That's a trap raise. That's what,
Hoping somebody raises,
yep.
inducing it. Hee-haw comes on board.
These guys have been made.
Oh, the diamonds again with the queen jack suited, like I said. So if you notice, Hee-haw has not put his cards completely on the reader, so we don't know. He has the mystery hand right now. He's the control hand. So we can only guess.
What do you think he has?
He plays cards, I think, that are probably more beyond a lot of players' ranges. So I'm going to put him more in like the 9-5 range, Queen 9, things like that.
Man, I took this pot down last night with a 5-10 suited on the mud.
Yeah.
A diamond. It was sick.
So we've got pocket queens, still the best hand. Ace comes out, aces and queens, a little bit of a scare card. You see 2 aces on the board, though. It's hard to put your opponent on having an ace. Brings you sometimes a sense of false
Good
confidence.
value bet for it. Got to call that.
Yeah. And he's going to take the check mark. Aces and queens. Takes it down.
I had to show a little southern hospitality for these guys. I might get a little fun out there.
There it is. I would love to see if we can get the stand-up game going with this as well.
Oh.
That's Eric that you saw just in the camera frame for a minute with the laptop. Eric is our live stream guru. He's who sets up all of this, makes all the equipment, the stream, the video feeds, everything happen.
And I've got to give y'all a big salute, too, because this is nerve-wracking, by the way. If you get it done and you're like, we're good. Hopefully we can create some fun and people are like, all right, I want to go play there on Saturdays.
It's amazing how the roller coaster goes. You get a lot of people interested, a number of people will commit, then it comes day of. Usually a lot of those commitments change, especially when the weather's really nice.
Okay, so I had this guy, you know, basically he's playing my free rolls I used to do. Well, I sent him a message like, what's going on? You this and that. Well, he was at his Theo's house, you know, having fun or whatever. I get a message at 4 in the morning. Nombre Peter. I'm like, what? What? Oh, man.
Michael Kelly, I could not agree more. Michael Kelly says, you the man, Eric. Eric is an absolute beast from coast to coast. Anywhere you go in a poker room, if it's live stream connected, most people know who Eric is behind the scenes.
The man.
The other thing about Eric, you will never see Eric without some kind of sharp suit on and a big bright smile. You cannot miss Eric in the room.
Yeah.
That is a man who loves what he does. I'm glad that he's here and part of our team.
So I got to ask, how do you feel about the hand? The hand.
The hand. So the hand you're referencing, I'm going to guess, is the Jack 4.
Yes, sir.
This is it's a wild hand to watch, and I've heard a lot of comments in the room, a lot of opinions. The comment that I hear the most is this does not happen ever on big games. But I can tell you in the games that we've seen here and watching the streams, we see a lot of confusing calls. So for many different reasons.
I think the nerves that are playing on streams has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And
I'm fascinated by just poker drama. So I like that we have a story that's going on. Eddie just walked into the booth.
all right. Well,
The man himself,
all right.
Pedro. He's going to sign off and hand his headset over to Eddie. Thank you, Pedro, for joining us. We appreciated it. Thankfully, Eddie's coming in, and he's going to make me sound so much better. So
Go ahead.
there you go, Eddie. You're turned up.
I don't know about all that. I'm pretty sure you did a fine job here in the booth.
Were you listening?
I wasn't, but I had some other obligations that I attend to. Just got here right now. Drove as fast as I could.
Hopefully, it was better than pure silence.
Well, I'll tell you what. Eric and I talked about this when I was texting him earlier. We weren't sure if this game was going to potentially happen.
Sure.
So he wasn't banking on it. So I said, I have some obligations. I can probably get there as soon as I can. Are they running the Dallas straddle?
Hey, this is the first hand I've seen with it. So for those that don't know, Eric was not expecting the game to go earlier today. So Eddie was not expecting to be here, and he was a last minute, would you like to come down and join us? Please help us call. So he has changed or dumped all of his plans on a Saturday night to come be here with us and join the stream.
I'm single. It's either poker or working. So there's not much in terms of activities other than that.
Well, I'm glad to have you here.
Well, is this the first? Is this your first time you're in the booth ever?
This is my first true commitment
Okay.
on a headset. So I joined Eric the other day for maybe 10, 15 minutes just to give him someone to bounce on. And I did the booth way back in February for a little bit when we first started it.
Yeah, that was when we did the 250K free roll, right?
That's exactly right.
Right.
So I spent a very little bit of time in the booth. So I have not been back in since. Usually I'm running around doing something. So finally, this was a nice change to come in here and join this great group.
And I'm assuming the pace is so much different.
The pace is very different.
Yeah. I always tell people that, actually check out this hand. We have coldest with trip jacks, but also cold with a 9-high flush draw.
Yeah.
I think some chips are going to be going in the middle here.
So what you missed is coldest cannot lose. The deck is absolutely slapping him silly.
Interesting. So interesting laydown by Colt, even though he has a flush on a paired board.
Yeah.
Not entirely. The thing is, one of the things I've worked on with these mediocre flush draws, you have to be really careful because there's definitely better flush draws out there. But also, you don't really want to go chasing things. Flush draws, especially on a paired board now, knowing that someone definitely has a jack in that spot multi-way. With that being said, I think there were about 5-6 ways to the flop. So you just have to. One of the things that I've been working on myself is on these multi-way flops, treading carefully, navigating the flop.
Sure.
Because especially playing out of position, a lot of times, I'll 3-bet out of the small blind, big blind with aces. And on a 9 or 10 high board 5 ways, I generally check that flop because that's a board that really doesn't hit my 3-betting range.
Right.
So at that point, I wouldn't say I shut it down, but I go more into a check call mode. So.
That's fantastic.
Oh, Chris Lego, hey, why aren't you playing? Or did you bust out already? Sir, you've called me out on the stream, so I'm going to call you out on the stream as well.
Chris brings jokes. Tammy says, oh, poor Eddie. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. So for anybody who's listening, he is single.
I am.
So don't be afraid to reach out.
And I'm equal opportunity for the record.
There it is. So if you're also needing something to do on a Saturday night,
Yeah.
Eddie's going to be free after the stream.
Right. And so is this a 2-5-10 game?
This is a 2-5 game.
Okay.
But now I see
Optional
the 2-10.
straddle? Okay.
Optional straddle. It
So-
is match stack. It's also a VPIP game with a
Right.
feeder table.
And so how many are we getting rid of in terms of
3.
3 per hour?
3 per hour.
Wow. So this looks like it's going to be a very exciting action game. So one of the things from a strategy perspective on a game like this, anyway, for the record, this is generally a game that you don't see played very often. In fact, it was kind of an idea that Eric and I had. We had talked about 1 or 2 people getting booed off. I think he bumped it up to 3. And so one of the things you want to do from a strategic standpoint, especially early on, in early position, you want to try to limp pots. I mean, even if you have a garbage hand like 9-3 offsuit, 7-deuce offsuit, just to get your VPIP higher. And so that's a strategy I don't know if anybody's really employing yet, but we'll see. I'll do some analysis on some hands and see where we're at. Looks
Yeah, I
like,
can't wait to see your impression. If they are doing it, I haven't noticed it yet.
okay. And are we able to pull up the VPIPs from the booth? I know Eric can pull up the VPIP on the action tracker.
Yeah, and so you're going to see my ignorance come through on mic, but I do not know the equipment in here to even say whether we can or cannot.
For the record, I don't either. The only buttons I know how to use are adjusting the volume, putting it on mute, and the sound effects.
That's probably more than me, but I do know how to adjust the volume now.
No, I was told not to touch anything until I get properly trained, which makes sense.
It does make sense. I was also given the same speech. And because I know how much this equipment means to Eric and how irritated he gets when it goes wrong, I'm not touching anything I was told not to touch.
Again, thank you for the views are in the chat. This was pretty much a last-minute live stream that we weren't sure if this was going to take off, if we were going to generate enough interest. And lo and behold, we have this main feature table on the live stream plus a feeder table. And when I was walking in, that table actually had about 8 or 9 players. So that one was full. So there's definitely going to be players that are going to feed in to this.
That's exactly right. And for anybody that is listening that maybe thinks that this is the game they want to be a part of, we're happy to have you come on down and join us. I know we're streaming at least until 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit later than that, but at least till 10.
No, Kim, I drove back. So I left at 5 and I drove 4:30ish. I had them till about 4 and then I left, and then I skipped Buc-ee's. And I skipped my bathroom, and I skipped my bathroom, my Buc-ee's break, and my gas. So I have no gas. I don't think even if I were to drive straight back to the apartment, I'm pretty sure that I won't make it back. But I got an emergency call saying, "Hey, can you come?"
He dropped everything for us.
Yeah.
The legendary Kim Stone, for those that are wondering who Kim is. So we saw Kim on the stream the other day. Completely fearless player. We were happy to have her on stream. Can't wait to see her come back. Hayden as well.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure once we get the overhead flop cam. Oh, and look at here, Twong flopping on the button. Jack high flush with a queen out there.
JB did not get a chance to put his cards on the reader, so that's our mystery hand. It happens from time to time. Players.
This is going to be a very, very interesting board to navigate. Will with the nut flush draw.
That's right.
And then Coldest with top pair, not liking this, definitely going to want to be checking out a position.
Hee Haw as well with top pair. Hee Haw generally likes to isolate players. The all-in's going to take that away from him.
Let's see if Will's going to peel one with a nut flush draw. I mean, he's got also a wheel draw as well, but he can't like his position even with having the nut flush draw. Kim, my drive back was very, very legendary, very similar to when I came in sweaty on your final table run at TCH. So, skip Buc-ee's. This is only the second time I've ever skipped Buc-ee's and my barbecue sandwich and a bathroom break.
Sacrilege. Buc-ee's is a part of driving.
Yeah. I'm getting texts. When are you going to be here soon? Yeah, I'll be there soon. The good thing is when you're coming back from the Houston area, you have to come back 35 anyway. So this is literally right off the freeway, so it's perfect.
Oh, that's great. Tiny, I finally see your comment up there. You did. We thank you for your help. Tiny came in and helped Eric with a lot of the lighting, a few of the camera questions we had, some of the equipment questions. Tiny was great at getting us set up here in the beginning. Can't wait to see you back in the room. Travel safely. So Will is drawing, connects the ace at the end, but it's not quite enough to beat the flush. We have Mr. Eddie King in the box dealing right now.
Mr. King, one of a favorite dealer here at Poker House. Every time he's in the box, we always get comments on him. So kudos to him. Are you guys rotating dealers every half hour or every hour?
I'm waiting to see. So there's been discussion on moving it to every hour.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't paid attention enough yet.
Okay.
But we might still be on every half hour now that I think about it.
I was trying to get some info from him, but I know he's running the tournament. And for the record, this is the biggest tournament we've had on the Saturday.
On a Saturday, we set the record. So the prize pool was just over 14,000.
I think last week the prize pool was just under 11K or right around 11K.
It was just under 12. It was
just under 12?
11,700 and change.
And this week you had 59 players. So
that's right.
Just under 15K for the prize. So every week this tournament's getting better. So
it has.
For those of you that in the chat are looking for a Saturday evening tournament, come join us here at Poker House. $280 buy-in with $240 going to the prize pool and $40 going to the juice, and a guaranteed $7,500. Correct?
$7,500 guarantee. Yeah.
Obviously, today, the last 2 weeks they've gone really well. Hit 12,000 or so, just under 12,000, right around 12,000 last week, and hitting just under 15,000 this week. So this is a tournament that's growing every week.
It is. We're excited to keep it growing. If it can continue growing at this pace, I'm happy to up the guarantee. I'd like to see one more month of it growing.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait. That's my goal with all of our tournaments. If we are connecting tournaments that you guys are enjoying out there and the fields get bigger and bigger, we're going to keep upping the guarantees.
So, Kim, this is it's not, for the most part, yes, it's the same VPIP game. Instead of a 1-2-5, it's a 2-5 VPIP game. And this time we actually, because of the interest from Tuesday, we actually have a full feeder table into this table. So
We do.
you have 9 players here on this feature table and another 9 players out on the outer table. So just in a few days, this game picked up a lot of steam. And one of the reasons I think we didn't have the alternates on Tuesday, we only announced that specific game just about 24 hours before it
I
launched.
don't even think it was a full day.
Yeah, it was definitely not a full day.
Yeah, I think it was just a quick concept that you two had talked about that I overheard, and then we activated it very, very quickly.
Yeah, and so I also think having like players like Miss Kimberly Stone playing that game and Mr. Ricardo Alvarado and Jeremy Timmons that
Oh my
game.
goodness.
Yeah, that was for that lineup to come to that first VPIP game.
Yeah.
Felt like the viewers in the chat, it just got talked about and around the city, put a little bit of credibility to that game.
It absolutely did.
And so
These are players that people really have seen play a number of streams or know throughout bigger games in DFW.
and you can't not play Dallas Poker and not talk about, Hayden Fortini, Kim
Ain't that the truth.
Stone, Rick Alvarado, those types of players. And so nice little shameless plug for Miss Kimmy there.
We were always happy to have Kimmy
Yeah.
come in. We're hoping that at some point we can see the baby.
Yeah, and so one of the things I've been putting together lists, again, nothing going too crazy on this hand, so I'll talk a little bit. One of the things we talked about is hosting a bigger game. Not sure what day we're going to host that. We talked about maybe Friday hosting a 5-5-10 game. Putting together, I think I have a list of about 12 now that are interested. So
Nice.
bracelet winners, circuit winners, people that have YouTube channels.
There we
So
go.
that game is definitely drawing some interest as well. So
So if anybody listening out there has any interest in a 5-5-10 live stream game, hit us up. Let us know. You can comment here, and we'll add you to that list if you'd like to be in the contact list. Now, Eddie, is that going to be a VPIP game as well?
I don't think that game is going to be a VPIP.
So just a straight 5-5-10.
Just a straight 5-5-10.
There you go.
Double straddle will allow that. Oh, this hand it looks very interesting. Surprise
yeah.
pocket jacks.
This one got live, so he's got the diamond redraw. He's already ahead with the jacks.
Surprised that I didn't see who it was before. Had King 9 folding top pair with a strong kicker on the flop. So
Was that Hee-Haw?
it may have been here. I literally I don't even know who any of these players are because I haven't had a chance to really see who they are. Jake making a bet of 400 here. Interesting bet because he's blocking the wheel draw, double blocking the wheel draw.
He is. I think he's representing the flush with this bet
Yeah.
and trying to gauge the strength of Carnal right now. So how committed is Carnal to this hand?
And again, I didn't see the pre-flop action. I wasn't really paying attention to it. So let's see if he's just going to call here or if he's going to check raise.
Carnal raised pre-flop to 40 and Jake
Okay.
called it. Once again, this is a 2-5 game, so 40 is a respectable raise pre-flop.
Yeah. I think it went 4 or 5 ways to the flop.
So an 8 doesn't improve anybody's hand. It puts a very backdoor straight draw out there.
And I didn't get my Buc-ee's coffee. I usually get my Buc-ee's coffee in either Ennis or Centerville or Madisonville, wherever it is. So I'm drinking Poker House coffee right now.
Yeah. Not as supercharged.
It's free, though.
That does make it good.
It makes it a lot better.
Free makes it taste really yummy.
Wow. And so check makes it 700 into 1,500, just under half pot.
And once again, he's still representing, I think, that flush really strongly.
This is a very, very tough call to make. Yeah, you have an overpair of the board, but again, I don't recall the pre-flop action. I feel like this is probably a board. I would imagine this hand went limp, and then pre-flop and Colonel 3-bet out of the big blind, and Jake with a small pair just calls to potentially set mine. But this is a really good flop or board for his a board texture for his flop, knowing that this is not a board that really smashes the big blind 3-betting range out of the big blind.
Sure.
So Jake has a lot of the sets, a lot of the 2 pairs, 8-9, pocket 8s, pocket 9s, pocket 5s, those types of hand. Also has a lot of flush draws as well, and made flushes potentially. So let's see if Colonel can reconstruct the hand.
Kimmy thinks that 700's not quite going to do it. I'm not so sure. I think the way that Colonel's putting his thought into it, we haven't seen him really play too many boards, and he lets it go. Jake does not show it.
This game's playing a lot bigger than I thought it was going to.
This game is definitely playing bigger than the stakes. So off stream, before we started, there was a gigantic bomb pot that played out.
Double board PLO bomb pot?
It was a massive bomb pot.
Man.
And so it built up stacks right off the bat.
Literally, when I talked to, I text Eric this morning, I said, is this game going to happen? This ain't going to go on. He said, don't count on that. So I said, okay, I'm not going to have to rush back. This afternoon, I'm going to take my time. Then come 5:36, I'm already on the way back. He's like, we're going to go live at 7. I said, oh, hi, I'll get there as soon as I can. You're not doing too bad yourself, Matt, in the booth. You're natural at it.
Look at you saying nice things. I'm just happy I get to spend a Saturday night next to Eddie.
Oh, you know what?
Makes my night.
The feeling's reciprocated.
My man.
I think the only player that I'm familiar with is Hee Haw. I've played with him in a live stream before.
Yeah.
And he actually got me off of it by double bearing the flop and turn when I had the best hand. Ooh, raise, look for a 3-bet here.
Hee Haw is one of my favorite phrases I've ever heard in a poker game.
And we have somebody liking the stream. I did not catch the name, but thank you for liking the stream. Again, for those of you in the chat, like, share, subscribe, all our social media platform. I know we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Are we on TikTok, Instagram?
I believe we're on all of it.
All of it.
Yep, across the board. So it is slowly growing. For those of you who don't know, we've added Next Gen Poker to our family here. So you're going to see a lot more videos from Poker House.
And you know what? That's a really good synergistic partnership for Poker House and for Next Gen, giving them some autonomy on their live stream and bringing us a younger group of poker players.
That's exactly right.
I agree.
Stone, absolutely.
Hey, for the other 24 or the other 17 in the chat, press the like button.
Yes.
It helps the YouTube algorithm.
It does. The more people that are watching the stream that actually engage with it, hit the like button, hit the share button, all of it, it helps the algorithm push our stream up closer to the top when people search it.
Oh, and he cold folds pocket queens. Wow. 4-betting ace king out. King out of the. Again, I've never played with JB. It's a correct 4-bet, knowing that once you get that isolated.
Thank you. We do have a like that just came in from Lonnie.
That's Felicia Rodriguez.
Oh, yes, it is.
I'm not sure how cold this can make this call, even though being in position. It's a very speculative call being in position. Now, again, if you're going to call a hand,
I think it's the sizing of it, because we've seen Coldest prepared to call quite a wide range to raises.
Has he really? Okay.
He has. So I think it was just the sizing was a bit too much for him to come along. Michael Kelly, thank you.
Little surprised that he folds queens there. That's a hand, JB only had 1.2 left behind.
Yeah.
It's probably a hand you can...
I would have loved to have seen a raise or a rip at that point. Well, for 550, it would have to be a
It would have to... The stack to pot ratio at that point would it wouldn't make sense for him not to rip.
Kim, just need some peer pressure. You are my favorite person right now. This is great. I used to have a friend that would say all the time, it's not peer pressure, it's just your turn. Now do what you're told.
Did somebody make us banana bread for the booth?
So we had someone come in trying to sell banana bread. One of our employees here, many people here know, bought quite a few of them, and then some of the players in the room bought the rest. So there's banana bread floating all over the room.
I haven't eaten yet, so I could definitely use some of this banana bread. Enjoy. We got a little bit of action here. J being +1, raising the 40 Colt, just going to cold call. Middle position +2. Middle position with pocket nines.
Ooh, Kim just made it clear you better bring home some banana bread.
Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have mentioned that. But it's a relatively it's unopened banana bread.
It is
I don't
sealed.
even know if it's banana bread. It
It
just
is.
Is it okay?
It is. It is sealed.
It ain't gonna be sealed when it gets back home.
No. I think when you drop everything and come join the stream,
Ooh,
you get
added
to
incentive.
yeah, you get to take a parting prize with you.
Ooh, and look, Teddy flopping top pair with a straight flush or redraw. Hee-haw with middle
Mid
pair.
pair, no redraw really to speak of.
I think this is gonna go check all the way around. Yeah.
The way the game has been playing, the check all the way around really surprises me. Teddy finally connects to something. He's been trying.
Somebody just walked in and dropped in $50. I don't know what this is for, but we'll take it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Maybe that's dinner money, so now we can just order dinner in.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking that Teddy was going to do is a check raise there with the 10. Going to get Colt to fold. Good check raise there.
Yeah. Teddy's
Trying to get some people to commit some money to the pot before check raising.
I do wish we could see what the VPIP
Yeah.
going is right now. I'd love to have a tracker up here. It'd be great to follow along.
And Lanyan81 says, "Good luck, my husband." Quack. Is he on the stream? I think he's on one of the outer tables. I could be wrong.
Lanyon, if he is playing on the stream, let us know what seat he's in.
No, he's not. He's not on the stream. I'm pretty sure he's on the feeder table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought Eric said that it was real difficult to set up the straddle for the button that need to be under the gun, but I guess he found a way around it. So good for him.
He may have. He's always experimenting with the equipment.
I agree, Kim. Again, Eric once showed me how to pull up the VPIPs. There's a way with the Action Tracker and Streamlabs
That is the software that we use. is
that
Streamlabs.
I could press some buttons, but if I press some buttons, the stream will probably end, and I don't want that to happen.
Kim, what you're seeing is our ignorance to the software at the moment.
Yeah, I'll actually probably step out of the booth and just a second. Yeah, I know, Kim with the face palm. Oh, Colonel with the 3-bet with King Jack in position.
But we will take the feedback. I love it because you are astutely correct. This is an area that we can improve. To do a VPIP like this game, it would really be helpful to have the percentages come up semi-often.
See if he called 4 bets. Just going to call.
As this game keeps growing, I keep feeling like this is a perfect game for Kim to come in and join.
Let's see what Will does. Going to call. Feels like he's priced in, but definitely, generally, Ace-4 offsuit is not a hand you want to take multi-way, even though you're somewhat positioned.
Chris, thank you for liking the stream, my
Hey,
friend.
Sturdy, thank you for joining. I specifically said that we're going to be hosting a 5510 stream here at some point in the near future when we get the overhead flop cam installed and the new port switches in and cameras for the outer. So if you're interested, contact us here. I'm sure I'll see you in the near future. Oh, and Cold is here with trip 6s and a flush redraw. So has this board somewhat locked up. Twong drawing to just a jack and a jack only. But again, one of his jacks is out with Colonel holding King Jack. Colonel gonna need a king on the river to win this hand.
Kim, the stream is going to go till at least 10 o'clock, but I suspect we're going to run it a little bit longer than that.
I think we're gonna go into overtime since
I think so, too.
I was told, whoa, and a really large sizing.
With all the excitement going on in this game, we're probably going to stretch it into overtime.
And this is the I really like this bet. 1,000 to 1.1 betting nearly pot, specifically targeting a king in this hand. Gets him to call. Oh, he only had 611 left behind. So yeah, it's pretty much an auto call for him with the stack in there. I think it was 600, 611 for him to win. 2.1 getting
My
a
goodness.
little at 3.5 to 1.
Yeah. Well, we just saw some or heard some commotion right outside. So mark the time right now, because in 30 minutes, I think we're going to see fireworks somewhere.
I like fireworks.
I love drama.
Fireworks in October in Dallas, we'll take it.
Poker drama on a live stream is exactly what we're here for. You can hear them commenting on coldest.
So can you? I think we're pretty much getting a new switchboard and ports.
It is being ordered as we speak.
I know Eric when I was talking to him, when I was talking to him in the car today, he had gone to Micro Center and bought some stuff, and that they didn't have the overhead cam, and so he's just waiting for it. So
Right.
hopefully in the next week or so we should have it. I mean, I don't know how difficult it is to find overhead flop cams, but apparently.
I think we're looking at having the equipment shipped in.
It's definitely going to be here before the 150K
Oh, it absolutely
Daniel
will.
birthday bash.
Our goal is to have all the new equipment here and installed by next weekend.
When I was talking to Eric in the car, I think Monday evening we're going to do action tracker training. So kind of like do a little rotation of dealers, rotation of people with the action tracker, and people even in the booth just to get familiar with it, which is a really good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
I think if we're going to stream as much as we plan on streaming,
Yeah.
we probably need at least 4 to 8.
Of each role.
Yeah, of each role.
I agree.
And then probably 20 to 25 dealers, rotating them out.
That's exactly right.
Now, if they were to do 2-hour blocks on a 4-hour stream, lock them in for 2 hours, may not need 25 plus, maybe 15 to 20, but
Well, and in a pinch, that's an idea. I think I like the hour
Yeah.
turnover. So especially with VPIP games like this,
right.
it just kind of all organically hits at the same time. While they're reading all percentages, you can trade out dealers.
Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Texas poker, a lot of places across the nation, they have caps on their 2-5 game. This is a 2-5 match the stack game, correct?
That is correct.
That was
It
my
is a
understanding.
match stat game.
That's what Min was texting me.
That is absolutely correct.
That's correct. He is moving to an 8-channel video switcher and better cable. That's correct. Oh.
Yes, Tiny, thank you. Those are the pieces that we're waiting on. We are going to add a few more cameras.
Listen to the overhead talk.
I'm going to turn up the table mic so
Yeah.
that we can hear this hand play out from the player's perspective.
This is great. I don't recognize any of these players, and that's a good thing.
That's a great thing. I love this because now the whole thing is exciting for us to follow along.
Oh, that's right. I remember we talked about this on the way home, suggesting a sticker to label the VPIP screen. Yes, Tammy, that's one thing as well.
Yeah, the overhead flop camera is something that we're excited to add. We also have talked about adding some camera angles that show the room
Yeah.
at the same time.
Agreed, Miss Kimmy.
Ooh, Kim is putting out hot facts right now, shaming us.
That's one thing I love about Kim. She lets you know how it is, but it's all
She's
good.
not wrong.
But she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. We should have known.
Oh, and one of my favorite players, Miss Dory Cole, she always hooks me up. It is a sticker. It's not that difficult. You're right.
Yeah.
No, it's actually not. It's actually so from. I think I told you incorrectly. It's not going to be an actual like button itself. That's actually you have to like switch over to a different screen on Streamlabs and
And then move it over.
yeah, and then move it. Click on the VPIP. There's like VPIP aggression frequency, 3-bet frequency, and then you actually have to click that and then drag it over to the screen so you guys can see it. Blah 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 blah. Which is why I was saying when I don't want to click buttons.
That's exactly right. For those that have never seen, so our production room, there are two TVs in front of us. and each TV operates separately. So we have the software on one TV. We're visually watching the game on the second TV, and so we have to manipulate both to make the stream work. We're essentially inside of a giant walk-in closet.
That's right. Miss Dory just moving into the featured table, getting in on the action.
Right off the bat. So I have to say, admittedly, my bias towards Dory. Dory's one of my favorite people in the world.
She's definitely one of my favorite people.
On the table, off the table. Dory's a joy to be around. Multiple buttons indeed. It's quite the process. I think that's why Eric gave us strict instructions, Kim, to not touch anything before we've been trained on it. I think Eric knows his audience
Okay,
well.
so interesting hand developing.
This is Dory's first hand in. Is that correct?
Yeah, JB 3-betting out of the small blind. Okay,
And
so
he makes the call.
leads the flop, and then Dory rips it for her remaining stack.
Now, we don't know what
We
Dory
don't.
has. So her cards did not get on the sensor correctly. So it is a mystery. Oh, I thought JB called.
He did call.
Okay. Oh, he just connects with the queen for the straight. We have no idea what Dory has to know.
Did she just boat up? Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. Dory on the
with the
first hand, and she
with the-
doubles.
she doubles.
Running cards.
From 1.3K to 2.7K.
Welcome to the game,
Yeah.
Dory. Woo.
What's crazy was she turned a set, middle set. JB hits,
The
he's double
straight.
blocking the straight.
Oh, my
And then
goodness.
she reverses a full house. What an incredible hand to walk into on your first hand on the stream. Good job.
First hand out.
And Dory's already winning the VPIP game. Her VPIP's 100%. She's 1 for 1.
That is definitely a way to introduce yourself to a table. So we did lose Hee Haw, it looks like.
Okay, I think because he busted too, or he got felted. So I think
Yeah.
one of the rules is if you get felted, you're automatically off the off the.
I
feature
like
table.
that.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Well, maybe
oh,
not. No, he's
no.
not. He's not felted.
He's not at all. I
I actually
apologize.
think that actually should be a rule.
I do like that as a rule. I think Hee Haw was in a different seat, so he is now moved.
Thank you, Dory.
Nicely done, Miss Dory.
Where's my vodka?
So there is some out there.
There's probably. It's
So
probably.
I saw
it's
some
probably-
Crown out there as
It's
well.
probably Dory's vodka for the record.
I'm not saying we have any.
I cannot drink tonight.
But it is out there.
I got up at 3:30, 4 o'clock to drive home. Some personal obligations, and I did eat Bucky's breakfast sandwich this morning, and then haven't eaten much, so I'm gonna definitely hit this banana bread up.
If anybody wants to ship in some dinner,
Oh
tell
my
them to
gosh,
put it in the
Dory.
production booth. Dory, second hand on this table, Ace King suited versus Ace King offsuit.
Surprised she just cold calls. Wait,
I think she's feeling her way into this table.
yeah.
Dory is not afraid of big games.
Not much of anything for anybody
No.
other than Twong flopping a gutter to straight.
Welcome to the stream, Jared.
Thank you, Jared, for joining the
Thank
stream.
you indeed. So, yet again, Jared, one of my favorite people in the world. Jared is family for me.
I'm not sure who Jared is.
So I know him by many names. Jared is one of the great individuals that runs the Hideaway.
Okay.
So he is a part of the fabric of Dallas poker for almost 2 decades now.
Great,
So-
great to have you on the live stream. Thank you for joining in.
Yeah, Jared's an incredibly likable individual.
Now, this is obviously a board that runs really well for Twong. He's gonna have all the 9s here
Yeah, he is.
out of the big blind. Thanks. Oh, with an aggressive bet.
Eric, thank you for the kind words.
Looks like he's overbetting the pot. 400 into 350 into 2 something.
yeah,
Overbet that when you overbet that type of board, you're not going to get anything worse than a 9 to call.
that's exactly right.
Right. So probably lost some value out on future streets. but I guess he just wanted to take the dead money that was in the pot. One of the suggestions I got is to actually zoom out the camera. When they played the stand-up game on Tuesday, it cut everybody's head off.
Oh, that's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Well, you might know better than I would then. Do we have the ability to auto-control the cameras from the booth?
Not from the booth.
Ooh.
I think it's...
Fail.
Yeah, so I was talking to Eric about potentially getting higher quality cameras, but the cost jump from the cameras... It's not that you guys have bad cameras. It's just the cost jump from what you guys have now to whatever the next, you're talking technological video production that's over my head, but it's a significant jump. Like 2,000, like 2,000 or 3,000 per camera.
So what you're saying is that we can increase the viewership dramatically.
So what we need to
have
do
options
here,
in the future.
viewers in the chat, like and subscribe, share, so we can monetize this thing.
That's exactly right.
And then we can improve the live stream here at Poker House.
All great things. Yes, Tiny, that's exactly right. PTZ camera is very expensive.
Interesting flop, all unders. Not sure what Hee Haw has.
No.
I don't think his chip count's correct. He says he only has 528.
But if you look at the stacks there.
It looks like he has...
Because he has black chips on top as well.
It looks like he has maybe 1,000, 1,100.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the chips are correct yet.
I didn't see all the action. So, again, Hee Haw. Ooh. Look at that comment from Miss Kimberly Stone.
What's that?
Hayden and her think Matt's voice is excellent for the stream.
Oh, Kim is making my night. Thank you, Kim and Hayden.
Maybe we found a new duo for the live stream. Look at you can mix it up a little bit. Get in the booth.
I need 2 more.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun. It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, that's just so. As a player, I never lose in the booth, so it's always positive EV for me in here, and I don't get felted, and I don't go on tilt. Sometimes it puts me on tilt the way some players play, but that's neither here nor there. But it's really fun.
This is fun. And I tell you what, for being a fan of poker, like, this is great to have a front row seat to the game and all the hole cards.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the dream.
And so, she's being honest. Kim don't lie.
I learned that about, so I don't know Kim personally. I know of Kim for quite a while now, and I've been a fan. So way back, so Kim has her own company.
Yep.
So, which has done wonderful things in Texas. And so I've heard a lot of great stories and a great reputation. But I'm actually, the stream the other day and some of the other competitive streams around the area, I've gotten to learn at least a little bit about Kim from those streams.
Yeah. And Teddy here on the gun +1 with aces, I think he just limped. There must have been a straddle on.
Oh man, you guys are going to make us blush.
He's going to limp back raise.
We appreciate you all listening.
Assuming that he just limp called the straddle from +1.
So Eddie, you missed it. Teddy had kings that I believe was 4-way to a flop, and he ended up having to fold the kings to multiple all-ins.
Was it the correct call? Was it the correct fold?
It was the correct fold. It was just painful.
Oh yeah.
To watch. And prior to the stream starting, Eddie had back-to-back big pocket pairs that got destroyed with multi-way flops.
You can never, even with pocket pair, especially in late position, you never like a limp back raise. A lot of times it's indication of having a hand like aces, kings, ace, king.
Yeah.
So even, I mean, if you run through all the combinations out there, you're not ahead of much.
Right.
You're coin flipping with a lot.
And we have not seen Teddy mix it up with too many hands.
Oh, really?
No. Eric is now on the outside. He's explaining the VPIP percentages to the players at the moment. So there may be some changes coming soon.
Now, even though this is not a board that hits Teddy's 4-bet limp raising range, he's definitely going to want to continue on this board. He
I almost feel like that's a bit too light.
You got 350 into. He can get. He could be potentially worried about not a set of nines here, but he can get a hand like eights to call one street, maybe tens, jacks
Yeah.
to call one street. If Teddy, it's an interesting bet size because it doesn't leave much on the turn for to jam. The stack to pot ratio is going to be extremely small. So, assuming JB just calls here, he's going to have a 0.35 stack to pot ratio.
And he lays them down.
That's a good fold.
It
Again,
is.
even if you're going up against a hand like Ace King, you may be slightly ahead of Ace King on the flop, but there's still, the turn and river to go.
Absolutely. In that moment, it would have been a bad play, but am I wrong in thinking that with JB's stack at that time, calling right there is really difficult? Like, your best power play with that stack would be potentially pushing.
Yeah, and the thing is, when I got to literally when I got here, I went to the restroom and just jumped. People said they're waiting for you. Literally, I walk in, Danielle and Min. I'm literally walking in, and Min's like, they need you in there. And I said, I got to use the restroom first. Like, I haven't used the restroom in like 4 hours, and I have to go.
There might be some
Yeah.
potential panic knowing that I was in here alone.
No, and obviously you've done a heck of a job with all the comments that are in the live chat.
I think they're just protecting my ego.
There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I need that as well.
I agree, Kim. It is a great fold.
Yeah, I think if Teddy didn't take that limp back raise line pre-flop, JB would have peeled the flop
Yeah.
and seen a turn, but
He exposed himself
Yeah.
just a bit.
you generally don't see limp back raise. I don't know. Kim, you play 2-5 these mid stakes more than I do. You generally don't see in 2-5 limp back raises. That's something you see more in the 1-2 streets. And it looks like we're going to go 6 ways to the flop with everybody having everybody's outs. So no, we have a queen.
Oh, Jake connects. Top two pair.
Anybody with hearts? No one with hearts.
No. We got the diamonds that didn't do anything. We do have an open-ended straight draw with JB.
Okay, he's definitely and backdoor flush draw.
Yeah.
Even though it's only 9-high backdoor flush draw. Maybe at 130 into 190. About 2/3
Here we
pot.
go.
Yeah, JB gonna peel a turn. There are a lot of cards on the turn that either get him to where he needs to go or gives him additional equity. Matt, outside of our final table for the Summer Bash, this is the highest number of views we had in any of our cash live streams.
Is that right?
100%.
Ego just went right
Yeah.
through the roof.
So I've been looking at something I take a look at. Oh, and it does bring him additional equity. Brings him a gutter to Broadway. Also brings
The
him the
heart
backdoor heart draw.
I like Hort better. Let's
Yeah,
go with
Hort
that.
draw.
So if it's backdoor, it's a Hort draw.
I think Jake's just gonna go into check call mode right now. At least on the turn. Your hand's too strong to fold.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, at least see what the river is.
But you also have to factor in with JB stack size. Leaves him with just under a stack to pot ratio of about 0.8, 0.85 to 1. So look for,
The rip is coming. Oh,
and that's actually, let's see if he checks over to him to induce a bluff. Because not much worse is going to call you.
no.
Yeah,
Not at this
I would have
point.
rather have seen him check to get him to induce a bluff.
And there's JB goes away.
Yeah. Oh,
A little taunting.
I like the table smack top.
That's exactly right. While we're at it, I like end zone dances for football as well. Bring it back.
Yeah, and I think if he checks there, JB knowing that he can't win with Jack, I don't know if he's going to just check back. His Jack has no showdown value, so he'd be really inclined to just rip his entire stack there.
Yeah, I think with your stack size of what JB's is, you have limited options. If you're not going to add on and bring the stack back up, you're almost playing just all in or fold,
Yeah.
waiting for a hand with equity.
Matt, how do you think I would look in a cowboy hat like Colt?
You could rock
You
it.
think I could rock it? I think I'm
Snakeskin boots, cowboy hat.
so I have boots. I actually have a cowboy hat in Houston. I didn't have time today to go get it, but I think I'm just gonna bring it back.
I don't even think I've ever worn a cowboy hat.
Well, the state fair, I think Kim Hayden and a handful of us, some other poker players and their respective kids, I think we're planning on going to the state fair Thursday. Kim, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're going Thursday. So
Wise choice. Going during the week. Don't go on the weekends.
it's like going to the zoo on a Friday is the worst idea because it's like usually field trip day.
It is.
So I'll never go to the zoo on a Friday.
Yeah.
So I guess the biggest stack
Oh
has
my
been
goodness.
booted.
He has. So he is a casualty of the VPIP experiment.
I'll tell you
So
what, based off that chip stack size, you maybe wanted to lock it in. So we have how many new players coming in?
So 3 rotate,
So it's a 3 rotation.
or at least that's what was announced, was 3. So
Oh, JB got some Benjamins in their hand looking to
yeah,
to
so
reload.
there we go. So we can see the players being swapped out. So the lowest VPIP players are now having to leave the table, and we have new players coming in off the feeder table. Once again, while we're in this kind of switch mode, thank you everyone for watching and joining us tonight. Happy Saturday. Happy October 1st.
Oh, it is October 1st.
It is, and I have to say, this is my favorite weather.
Oh, it's beautiful.
We don't get this often in Texas. It lasts for all of probably 3 weeks, but I'm going to enjoy every single day of it.
When I left this morning to drive back, I actually wore shorts and I walked outside. And then when I got to Buc-ee's, I just put my jeans on.
It's a beautiful life.
So I'm checking our tournament here, our 7,500 guarantee. There's now 11 left out of 59 players, and as they rotate the players in, 11 out of 59 players left, so we're a few away from the final table. Total prize pool of $14,160. This is our biggest Saturday $7,500 guarantee tournament that we've had since we've launched this specific tournament.
That's correct.
Again,
Largest field.
Last week was the largest, and this week we broke it.
The last 3 weeks have all 3 increased
Have they
week over week.
Yeah, okay, so that's
it's record over record over record.
And if I'm correct, I will actually check. I believe we have approximately 8 tables going now. 4 of those being 1, 2, 2 of those being 2-5. One of them being this live stream table and the feeder table, and then 2 $5 bomb pot tables. So very busy on a Saturday evening.
Yes, it is. And for the bomb pot, I know we get asked from time to time on the phone. It is a double board PLO bomb pot. So if you are a PLO fan, both 4 card and 5 card, they offer it out there. Bomb pot games are a lot of fun. Thank you for the viewers that just came in. Welcome to the game.
What do you mean we should swap out at halftime of the show? Are you talking about players, or are you talking about dealers?
Oh, like halfway through the stream is what I'm going to guess Kim is thinking. So not every hour, so a little bit less rotation, but the same concept.
So JB reloading.
That is a good point.
That's a good point.
So, and again, this is an experimental concept, so we're learning on the fly. We won't make any rule changes in the middle of a stream or middle of a game, but for the next game, we would love any feedback of what you guys viewing think about this. Kim is proposing that fewer changes to create less delay in the middle of a stream would be welcome.
No, we appreciate it. That's one of the ways we want to improve our stream is you, the viewers out there, giving us good, positive feedback, constructive criticism, because that's the only way we're going to grow our viewership or we're going to grow our live stream here. So we really appreciate Scott with the the Robbie J.
Hayden with the slam dunk. It's already been nicknamed. I love it.
He's going to call, oh my gosh, are they playing the Jack 4 game?
Jack 4 is legendary. I don't know, but it's going to be a thing now, right?
Ship it.
It is the same suits. Look at that.
Please do something. He bets 250.
At this point, I'm about to just mute it and let Hayden take over.
Yeah.
Hayden should call in.
He's got the blockers.
I'm so entertained.
And he calls.
Oh, Jack Club 4 hearts. All right. Well, it's completely different then. The texture is not even close to the same. Kim, I will take all the advice that you could possibly offer. So, and welcome it.
Yeah, the Jack 4 needs to be the risk. Did you know at the lodge yesterday, they played a 25-50 game. They played a 25-50 game with the Jack 4 game.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, the Jack 4 is definitely going to be a thing. So, we've got Eric coming in. Eric, I'd offered to move out of the way, but I take up so much.
What I'm going to do is configure it so all we do is show VPIP and chip count, and it'll show after every hand, it'll flip back and forth.
There we go. So once again, I'm going to sing the praises of Eric here, our live stream guru. He is updating the software, so it's going to regularly show the VPIP percentages.
Every other hand, it'll show VPIP and then chip count.
There we go. So every other hand will now have a confirmed VPIP percentage update. Just like that. Kim, you make the suggestion and we make it happen just 20 minutes later. Progress is being made. We do have some action on this hand. We've got pocket kings with Jake. Dory's got 10 jacks suited. This is a hand that really fits her range well. So here we go. We got 4 clubs on the draw for Dory. She's waiting to see what happens. Kings are still ahead. Yeah, Kim, I think Kim and Hayden, I think the Jack 4 is going to be a new thing. It's going to overtake the 7 deuce game. I'm going to have to update it now for modern times. It's now the Jack 4 game. Ooh, I think we got our first spam bot in the chat. We must be making it big time now for that to happen. All right, so we have a 10 of spades. We got a sizable bet coming in. So followed by the raise. So Dory bets. Jake raises, another 825 for Dory to call. Eddie, while you were gone, I think you missed it. Eric updated the software, so every other hand we're going to have live VPIP stats showing on screen. Never a dull moment.
Dory in the tank. And that's actually a really bad card for her because now she picks up additional equity.
She absolutely does. And Dory is generally not
she rips
afraid.
it.
Yeah, not afraid to get it in. I was just about to say that. She beat me
This
to
has now
it.
become a $5,500 pot. Probably the biggest pot of the night so far. And
then she connects.
And she gets there.
Wow, Dory once again. I think she's been on this table maybe 30 minutes. The legend continues.
Dory running good. Sunrun Dory. Kim, you're gonna have to let Dory borrow that name. We call Kim Sunrun Kim, so she's just for the night. We're gonna let Dory borrow the name
For just a couple more hours. Absolutely. Kim and Hayden celebrating. Could not agree more. Yes.
Dory putting on a show. So I walked out there. We're down to the final 10 players now for our $7,500 guarantee. Got some big names out there. Mr. Sam Brown, Miss Daphne, who was our final. She finished
Love
second.
Daphne.
Yeah, Miss Daphne finishing second in the 100K Summer Bash. So, and I kind of had a chance to look at the stacks, and she's the insurmountable chip leader right now.
Oh, I love hearing that.
Yeah, like stacks.
Daphne Turner is another great presence in
Yeah.
W poker.
I'm not sure what you mean. How do I find love? I'm assuming you're talking. Oh,
I think it's a
she's
reference to the spam.
to the spam. I didn't know how to answer that question.
So, Kim,
I was so
Eddie wasn't in here with
I
the
wasn't-
spam hit.
I literally just Eric came in here to the software
Yeah.
update. I went to get water, and I saw Dory in this hand, and then I didn't look at the chat, and then I saw your question, and I was so confused.
If you-
I didn't know what was going on.
Ever seen a cartoon where the eyes come bulging out? I just watched Eddie do that reading your comment, Kim. Highlight of my night. That was fantastic.
I was like, "Isn't Hayden in the chat? It's kind of awkward." It's kind of awkward.
Oh, this is great.
And Terrell, one of the new dealers rotating into the feature table, getting the chip stacks correct. What a
Yes.
big double up for Dory. I think she sat down with 1.2 or 1.3K
Yes.
in this game, and now is
Doubled
sitting
up on the first hand.
doubled up on the first hand and just doubled up again.
That's right.
And now is sitting at over 5.5K, nearly 5.5K.
Making it look easy.
What's that website link address? Just kidding. I'm gonna screenshot that.
This is great.
And that feeder table has actually new people on that feeder table.
All right, so the list is growing on the feeder table.
So when I walked out there, when Eric was doing the software, ran to use the restroom and I ran to get some water. Some of the people that got booted out the last time, either they went home or whatever, they were still in the room. But there was new people at that feeder table that I didn't see when I first came in here, like 8:30ish.
That's great. That's one of my favorite things about this experiment. Kim may be right. So rotating every hour might be a bit too much. But having the potential ability to see new faces on this stream in the midst of a stream, I think is enjoyable.
One or both of us need to get a life. We are literally on our phones watching our roommate commentate on the TV and trying frantically on it. Yeah, touche.
Poker is our life, Kim.
Well, now that I'm officially in
Universal
Dallas,
truth.
I think it's time for me to put out some feelers there for the viewers in the chat. If you or know anybody that's single, my nickname is the Asian Sensation. For those of you in the chat.
Well, if you're not paying attention, Eddie, I think 69mega.com is ready for you.
Yeah, I mean, I need to find love. So it's been 2 years since I've been divorced. It's time. Look at Tori popping trips. Now there is a flush. There's a flusher out there.
There is.
It's a pretty coordinated board.
She's got some challenges to navigate, but once again, she's putting that stack to work.
Let's see what happens on the turn. Ace.
That's a
Not
good
a
card.
horrible card, but obviously not the best card hands like King Queen get there.
I think if you're Dory, you're hoping that any kind of medium ace connected right
Yeah.
then and is willing to come along.
Now QC played on the 125 stream on Tuesday with Kim, and he put her in a really tough spot, like that last or second to last hand, when he 3-bet queens out of the big blind, small blind. And he check min raise. Oh, and that's a real. Oh, look at this. There's gonna be action on this river card.
Yeah, I think this is, and it's been 30 minutes, so this is the firework hand, I think.
I think he can only call there on a paired board.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
it does call, yeah. My goodness.
Oh my gosh, and Dory now picking up another 800. pretty much almost quadrupling her stack since she's been on the feature table. Been on the feature table for less than
Not even an hour.
yeah. I tell you what, she is definitely not going to get kicked out of this game. Her VPIP is definitely over the necessary.
And so with the new
Yeah.
software changes that Eric did for us, we know that the VPIP is going to come up at the next hand, the conclusion of the next hand.
Did he come in? It was from the action track, or is it here?
He did it on this side,
on the screen.
left
Yeah,
side.
the left side.
Yeah.
So
It was more than just a couple of button clicks.
okay. Was it really?
It was, yeah.
He
Watching it
showed me
happen.
one time. I was like, yeah, I got it. And then I was like, no, I don't got it. I'm definitely not going to mess with it.
I like to pretend that I take up a lot
Yeah.
of space when he came in. I was like, oh, you're not going to be able to get around me. And then I had reality check, and I was
Right.
like, no, I can just literally reach right here because you don't take up any room at all.
Dory, I believe, now the overwhelming chip leader on this table with over 6.2K.
I think it's safe to say it's not on lockdown.
It's definitely not on lockdown with this game, especially on the VPIP game.
Yeah. Queens yet again for Jake.
Yeah, and just getting cooler not that long ago. Picks
Yeah.
up Queen's going to raise to 315.
That's quite the raise.
That's generally a sizing.
Hey, that's a don't
mean,
call me
right.
raise.
I'm on tilt. Oh, wow. And JB
Look at
3
the
bets.
3-bet with JB. Okay, I love this. All right, I'm going to turn the table mic
Yeah,
up
that's
on
what
this.
let's see this.
Yeah, let's hear this play out.
Is he going to come in with a 4-bet? It's a blind versus blind situation.
So this is what I haven't seen a whole lot of is 4 and 5 bets pre. That I'd like to see
Right.
quite a bit more.
Makes it 600.
So I like this move.
So when you 4-bet, especially out of the small blind, it typically narrows your range down to
It
some big
absolutely does.
Yeah, big pocket pairs, Jackson above a hand like Ace King suited, Ace King, Ace Queen. So let's see what this flop. Oh wow!
Oh my goodness.
Action flop. Not only does he flop, Jake flops top set, JB with a flush draw and a straight draw. So he has a ton of outs still. Has about 30% equity in this hand.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Let's see what JB does. I want to see if he's just going to rip it here. He has so much equity in this hand. And he just rips it for the...
And I don't blame him
Yeah.
at all. This hand just kind of plays how it plays from here
I'll tell you
on
what,
out.
these hands are going to increase our viewership. We're going to definitely have to do some cuts. Let's see the run out.
I'm doing it.
Oh, no, on the boat. Oh, my gosh. This is so gross.
Wow. All the way around. Wow. What a hand.
Chris, I'm sorry about that. Again, I'm in the seat where I control the camera, so I need to look down every once in a while to make sure the camera rotates. Again, with the action tracker, if something has to get backed up, sometimes the cameras get locked out. So hopefully in the next few minutes, it'll rotate around. And JB making some chips back. What an action flop there. Jake flopping top set. JB with a flush draw with a straight draw. Just both get all in on the flop. And then Jake rivering Queen's full. Yeah. Goodness gracious. I think Dory's just driving the action, even just by sitting at the table. Was there this much action earlier on when I was on the road back here?
So, before the stream started, there was quite a bit of aggressive action. And I believe the first hand or two of the stream was aggressive, and then it kind of tailored off.
Right.
Chris, I can't agree more with you. So we got to see a tiny bit of the action, but from the wrong perspective. And a lot of that is just our newness to this equipment.
Right.
And there are lots of buttons and lights in this production room. And when that one went off, it tells us when the cameras freeze up, we strictly were just not paying attention. We were so engrossed in the action, we never even looked down, and I apologize.
Wow, that was so gross. Yeah, so now the cameras are rotating. I'm definitely looking at this. It may be a few minutes before it rotates on the viewership end. So, again, thank you all for joining us on a Saturday evening at 9:30 p.m. I know a lot of you could be doing a lot of other different things going out, but you guys have chosen to tune into this I guess, kind of impromptu 2-5 live stream.
It absolutely is impromptu. Yeah.
So
We had hope that it would come together yesterday, and then this morning we had the belief that it was just done and we weren't streaming tonight, and it came together very, very quickly in the evening. Hence my voice being on the stream and not one of the regular voices that you're used to hearing. But I'm kind of glad at the way it came about. I'm enjoying myself. ATM, I miss you too, my guy. Hope all is well. You need to come check out the room sometime soon. Thank you, Chris, for the kind words. These are all things that we're definitely going to improve on. Once we upgrade the switchboard and get the extra cameras in here, there'll be a steady flop cam as well.
Yeah.
That will capture a lot more of the action on the table. So even if it freezes, we have that option.
Too soon, Chris. Too soon. It's all I've been hearing about the past 2 days. That crazy hand. I don't even want to talk about it because it's all everything that's been talked about the past couple days. So
we've been talking about it quite a bit.
yeah. Matt and I are here to give you live action commentating for this 2-5 VPIP game.
Riveting action.
And as our viewers have increased, for those of you recently just joining this stream, this is a 2-5 match the stack VPIP game. And what I mean by that is at the top of every hour, the three lowest players with the lowest VPIP get the boot they gone and are replaced from a player pool at a feeder table just right outside this featured table. So on every hour, we're going to see 3 new players. We've just recently had 3 new players get subbed in. So
you're suggesting that if you don't play, you don't stay.
right.
I like it.
I still don't know how these YouTube algorithms work.
Oh, Kim with the gold. I'm so entertained. Here it is. We're trying to entertain both you guys out there, but I'm fixated on Kim and Hayden. Comedy through and through.
Right.
Chris, there's so many different theories going on with the Jack 4. I don't even know what my opinion is. I'm truly fascinated back and forth. I've watched this hand like most of us, maybe 20 times plus.
I think actually Jake's going to call off here because it's not that much. And it's such a weird board.
And why not?
I mean, there's not too many combinations of 3 that Hee-Haw should have.
Right, but for 271 versus a 5,000 stack, why not?
It has such a big stack.
Hee-Haw has a reputation for one phrase that just stays with me.
Yeah.
So for all time. And I heard him in a game one time, and I don't remember what the bet was, but it was a pre-flop.
Oh, wow.
Look at that clean run out. But somebody raised in a low stakes pre-flop game, and he comes in blind, and he goes, "What is it?" And they told him whatever it was, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm blind, but I'll watch cricket screw for that amount of money." And the whole table just stops talking and stares at him. He was brand new at the table.
Interesting.
It seared into my brain from then on.
I think the person that actually came in and gave us these 2 green chips, he was in the chat last night or a few nights ago, and I said, "Hey, come on here. I'll get you in the booth." Got him in the booth for a couple of minutes. I think it was Chad.
Oh.
So he drove specifically to try to jump in that live stream game that was kind of last minute.
Yeah.
Couldn't get him on didn't get him on the live stream, but probably was able to get him on the post stream table. And so we got him on this stream today. And so he just came in here and dropped us
Oh, wow.
225 green chips. So
It's incredibly generous. Thank you.
yeah, Chris, I don't know what to believe. I'm not gonna lie. Again, I'm relatively new to poker. I've only been playing for 2 years. Only been taking it seriously for about a year now in terms of studying and trying to get better. It's crazy for me, even though I'm still relatively new, but from everybody that I know too that's been playing for 10, 20, 30 years, they say they've never seen anything like it. So it's just crazy. Well, looks like we're going to have a lot of callers to this flop. It's going to look like we're going to go 6 ways to a pot of $180. Everybody having pretty much no jacks left in the deck.
Oh, here we go now. We got Mr. Pham with a spade draw. Did connect with the mid pair.
And this is a strong lead. It's betting 150 into a pot of 180 and to 6 players. So someone's not going to lead into a player of 6
No.
without
some
having
strength.
without having a strong hand. So
That's exactly
definitely representing a hand with an ace, but definitely combination draws there.
Dory's looking to connect with the back.
Yeah, I mean Dory's got some. She can turn to 10. That's not a very good card for either one of them.
No, but I can see Dory representing this a lot more. Oh, the check. I'm surprised by that.
Oh, and Dory gets there on the river.
Well,
let's see what she
because, of
does.
course,
Just goes check.
I think the aces are really what's going to save.
Right. And again, I think Dory just peeled the flop there. Against some other players, she may raise there. Maybe not, but Twong hasn't played too many hands since I've jumped into the booth. So for him to lead into a player pool of 6 players, that's very strong. So even though she does, if we're talking about blockers, she blocked the nut flush draw with the king of spades, and then also had a gutter to Broadway. So she had a lot of outs on the turn that it can improve her hand and improve her equity position. So being in position definitely can peel one off there, and then turn and river going check. She ends up rivering a king to win that showdown.
We do have Terrell in the dealer box right now. Another regular dealer on the stream.
I always love Dory and her table talk.
I do too.
And one of the suggestions I had made was turning the table mics up, but somebody had made a comment. Well, we heard Dory fine. I was like, well, that's Dory. She doesn't even need a table mic, right? She just naturally loud. And I don't mean that in any way disrespectful.
So for those that don't know, Dory has a stage career in her past. So she knows how to amplify her voice and project very clearly.
And again, obviously, like with Kim and Hayden, Kim watching the stream and giving me suggestions on how to become better in the booth, she was giving me some pointers as well in terms of talking into the mic to improve my sound quality. So appreciate Dory and her
I can't wait
wisdom.
for the feedback so that I can improve for the next time.
Right. Oh, wow. Well, the good thing is Hee Haw only has $704. This money's going to go in.
It absolutely is. I think, once again, Jake's going to look him up. Dory has to look him up, right?
Yeah. I mean, with 2 pair here. Now, we could see some action slow down if a diamond gets
But I do
there.
like this raise.
Yeah. I do like Jake just can't peel here with a. Well, I mean,
with that stack and the potential to get after Dory's larger stack, I could see coming along for one more. And
I don't think he can. He's got a fold here. That's a really strong line. All the hands that Dory have played have been strong lines. For her to raise right here, obviously he was going to get it all in, and she's going to call.
She is.
Yeah.
There's just no way she doesn't. And all things considered, she gets off cheap with this.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah.
And this hand is just going to play out the way it's going to play out.
So he has more than what it lists right there. So the stacks are still not quite accurate just yet. Yeah, brick. Hee Haw takes one down. I think he's one of the few that we've seen that can actually beat Dory at the moment.
Yeah, I think he does have a bigger stack than what's showing on the stream. You kind of see how the camera angles, it makes them look a little bigger.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see moving the screen out just a bit would help improve the stream.
I know you can do that, but I think you have to manually do that on the actual camera itself. Dory, let's see what the pot size is.
So there's our chip count.
Let me double check with Eric to see if the chip counts are correct.
Yeah, this, just at a glance, I don't think that it is. So Eddie's going to put down the headset for a moment and go get some firm verification. Once again, we're on a 30-minute delay. So whatever he's looking at now will be 30 minutes from now. 30. For those that didn't hear it, the request earlier today, if you are listening to this right now, please do us a favor. And if you're having a good time, hit like on the stream, share it with your friends. The more likes that we get, the more shares that we get, the more engagements and chat that we get, it moves us up the algorithm so that we can get a wider viewing audience on these streams. So we have Joel now, who is pushed into the dealer box, and every time a dealer pushes in, we offer to do a bomb pot. It sounds like that they're trying to request a PLO bomb pot, and you can hear Eric in the background explaining that all of these RFID cards have a computer chip in them, and the fear with doing PLO on the live stream is that players have a tendency to bend back the cards like you would do on a normal table, but when you do that, there's the potential to snap the computer chip in half. So, and it renders the card unusable, and these cards are considerably expensive. So that's what you see now is Eric explaining and requesting that people be ginger and gentle with his cards. So if you're following along, this is a PLO bomb pot. Eddie's making his way back in.
And I have confirmed that chip counts are accurate.
Okay.
Oh, so you guys are doing PLO flips? Are they flips or actual bomb pots?
No, this is an actual bomb pot.
Double board?
I can't tell from here. This is the first one that I've noticed on stream.
Okay.
So they were doing this off stream with regular cards.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun when we get the overhead cam.
Yes.
It's going to definitely...
And get the full angle of the
Yeah,
table.
get the full angle of the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is 2-5 ATM. It's a 2-5 match the stack.
I think we're masquerading as a 2-5.
It's really playing like 5-10.
It
Yeah.
absolutely is.
It's playing very close to 5-10.
It played 2-5 for about the first 20 minutes.
So it's a flip. Okay, so they're not doing an actual like bump.
Oh, no, so
double
it is a flip.
And it looks like Will's going to win with a 5 high flush.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. Do you know ATM, right?
Do I know ATM?
Yeah.
This ATM
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is he from Texas?
He is.
Okay, so he should know that 2-5 in Texas does not play like 2-5 anywhere else.
Yeah, ATM's been around poker for quite a while.
It's so funny when I was in Vegas for 2 months for this year. I played some 2-5, some 3-5, and like the cap buy-in was 1,500. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. It was so interesting. I played a little bit of everything. I didn't play anything above 2-5, but I played some 2-5, some 2-3, 3-5, 1-2.
Oh, yeah.
Some limit games.
Yeah, I think the games here in Texas are far and away more entertaining than most places in the country.
Yeah. One of the things I like here about Dallas, and even cities like San Antonio and Austin, the smaller state games, like 1-2 or 1-3, are capped. 800. Here in other rooms, 1-2 cap at 500. I know Rounders has a really weird 1-2 cap in San Antonio. It's actually 1-2 match 75% of the biggest stack. And one time when I played there, I was kind of seeing a girl there, and so I helped her move there. Blah 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 blah. I bought in for 2K on a 1-2 table, and I had the third biggest stack. It was ridiculous.
That's fantastic. I have sat at games, I know at Maryland Live, where it was an uncapped 1-2.
An uncapped 1-2?
And
I know the Golden Nugget has a 1-2 or 1-3 uncapped game. There's an old guy that buys it for like 10K every single time.
That's exactly that's what was happening here. And at the time, I was unprepared for that, and I didn't realize when I sat down and I see people coming in for thousands of
dollars,
1-2,
yeah.
and I had to verify with the dealer that I was at the right table.
Right. Colt gonna raise with King Queen suited.
Yeah, raised to 70.
QC on the button, gonna elect to call 9-7, making a very speculative call.
All right. Both players connect. 60. That is definitely a call me bet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see what he does, what he sizes, if he decides to size up. Probably wants to size up. The board is now
maybe
more
150?
connected. Looks like he's going to bet pot or over bet pot.
Oh, wow.
Trying to protect against flush draws, straight draws.
I guess so, yeah. And QC goes away.
Yeah, and when you're calling on a button to an early or middle position open, QC is going to have a lot of
draw hands.
a lot of draw hands like Jack 10.
There's our VPIP.
Yes. Oh, there we go. There's our VPIP. And Scott with 70%, QC 20%. Obviously,
Dory's in the bottom 3.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, even if she gets booted out, I think she's going to be okay with getting booted out after coming to the table with 1.3K.
Quite possibly.
So I just walked out, and like 30, 40 minutes ago, I said we were 10-handed in that tournament. We are still 10-handed.
Oh, wow.
40 minutes later.
So they're just trading chips around
I guess
the
they're
table.
just trading chips around, so still 10-handed.
So you're saying that our tournament also needs to have a VPIP rule?
VPIP rule, right? Well, it's funny. A few weeks ago, this tournament ended. I mean, we were barely making the guarantee, and at break, you were at the final table, or just right outside the final table.
Right.
So that tournament was ending about 8:30. This tournament is going to go till 11 o'clock tonight.
Us too.
Yeah, that's true, and I'm okay with that.
I am too. I'm telling you, this is the highlight of my day right now.
It's so fun being in here, isn't it?
It is. It is, surprisingly.
And the first time I jumped in the booth was obviously the Summer Bash. Oh, let's see what we got going here. JB with top pair backdoor, straight and flush draw. Dory and Jake with not much. Scott not with much. Curious who's going to make the call with middle pair here. I don't see him folding, just knowing him.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, well,
he likes to play hands.
Yeah, he likes to play hands.
Thank you, Pedro.
Hey, thanks for putting this game together.
Absolutely. So
Pedro, I heard that you were having a tough time putting this game together, which is why we weren't 100% positive it was going to take off. And so when I was driving back, I wasn't planning on stopping by. I was just going to go home and go to bed because it's been long. I got up at 4 o'clock this morning, but then I got an emergency text saying, "Where are you?" I'm like, en route. Be there as soon as I can. Got here 8:30ish.
Pedro bluffed you.
Yeah.
For those that are listening, what do you think about with tournaments, with respect to tournament? Do you like a 60-second shot clock when it comes to tournaments?
So there's always been discussions about shot clocks in tournaments. And again, I think my game is more geared towards playing tournaments. I think it's going to be very difficult to implement in the early stages of a tournament, but maybe like on a day 2, like on a one-day tournament, I don't think a shot clock makes sense. But on a day 2 tournament, or everybody gets X amount, 5 30-second chips, 5 60-second chips that they can use. If they make the final 2 tables, maybe you can give them an additional 3 or whatever. But
Sure.
I particularly think it's. You hear a lot of people complaining during the WSOP. People, that one guy that ended up finishing second to
Right.
Jordan Epstein, tanked for like 16 minutes on that one hand where he ended up losing the all into Jordan. Between all the streets, it was a significant amount of time tanking. Now, with that being said, you're playing for millions of dollars, so I'm okay.
Yet again, Kim, you're right. Certainly not in cash games. I see tanking quite a bit more in tournament play.
Yeah.
Not so much in cash games.
Kim, I don't think I've seen you tank more for 15 seconds.
Combined in all your hands.
All your hands. Yeah, that's true. It'd be really difficult for the dealer to implement because you would have to have some sort of electronic device like at these bigger games where the dealer has to. So that's additional training for the dealer as well.
It is. It is. And I think this is an opportunity. I know Jared can come in and chime in with this. He's done this specifically I'm going to say at Hollywood in Florida.
Okay.
They do this. But they use the tablet that's in the table that's embedded, and it's got a shot clock built in.
Okay, it's got the shot and poker
And
out.
so, and it has a countdown. They don't do Poker Atlas there. It's Bravo.
Okay, Bravo, yeah.
But it does have the countdown, and so with each seat, they'll just hit the seat, and it starts the count timer. And when they've acted and it's time for the next person, they just hit it again.
Gotcha.
And it just keeps counting down. And so if you haven't acted within that time, then you lose your ability to act when the clock runs down to 0.
Interesting. QC in the hijack 3 betting deuces to early position open.
I'm going to turn up the table mic so that you guys can hear what we hear.
He does have a monster. He has pocket deuces. And for the record, he's ahead of all of you.
So you're going to hear a lot of ambient room noise as well.
I think that's one of the things we talk about, getting better overhead boom mics that where you can hear the table talk a little bit better, but also drown out the background noise.
So we have a couple of things that we're going to do with that, and that's absolutely right. So I'm thinking a couple of boom mics that are a little bit more directional to just the table, and then some noise-canceling fabric that we're going to wrap the cage in here.
Okay.
So when we're streaming, we'll be able to isolate the table.
Right.
But that's also why we're looking at getting the cameras to show the room, because the cameras will be above the fabric curtains. And so it'll give us an angle to show the action in the room as well. Add some excitement to the stream, but also isolate the noise quite a bit.
Right. And Matt, you and Danielle how long has it been now since you guys have taken over as co-general managers?
I think we're coming around to, let's see, we took over
It's definitely
March.
it was before we left for the series. So yeah, it's about 6 months now.
Yeah, 7 or 8. I think we're coming up on 7 or 8 months.
And I'll say this again: I've only been playing poker for about 2 years now, and I've played a lot around the state. I kind of, during my whole divorce process, I kind of traveled to Austin, played over there, played in San Antonio, played in Dallas, obviously, and played a lot in Houston. And for you guys, have only been open just over a year now. And for you guys, I walk out there and I see 8, 9 cash tables going, 2 tournaments tables still going. So the progress that you guys have made in the past 6 months is phenomenal. And the thing I really like about working with you and Danielle and even the rest of the staff here, you guys are committed to making this room even better than it is already. So kudos to you, Danielle, and all the staff here at Poker House. You guys are taking some risk, calculated risk, but very good risks that have reaped some benefits to the growth of the room. I remember when I came back from Vegas, there was probably about 3 tables at most, maybe 4 tables max, and just even in the past 4 to 6 weeks, obviously with the next gen partnership announcement, and then bringing Eric on with the live stream, you guys have just jumped leaps and bounds just with the quality of the product you guys are offering here at Poker House. So kudos and congratulations to you and Danielle and the staff here.
Thank you, Eddie. We have such a great staff here. I cannot speak highly enough about them. I can tell you this. We have been committed to this from the very beginning. For all the challenges that come with opening up both a business and this room, and the challenges that we even created ourselves, I'm thrilled with what we've overcame. I'm really happy with where this is going. So we have high expectations, high hopes for what we can do with it. So I think we're set up for a lot of success.
Yeah. And I know one of the things we've talked about post, I know you guys were a little worried about, I agree, Kim. It seems a lot for the dealer. Oh, that's not Kim. That's ATM. I agree. We already addressed that comment, right? I think we have.
With the clock?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think one of the things that I know when that summer bash, you guys announced it, you guys were a little bit worried about the guarantee initially.
Initially, we were. When we put that together, we thought that might be a little bit of a reach for us. Our tournaments were not a success by anyone's measure. We definitely had a higher expectation than what we were achieving.
Yeah. And I know up to that point, it was there were some of your tournaments that weren't making or barely hitting the guarantee.
That's right.
And so for you to...
we were paying out overlays.
Yeah, paying out overlays. And so for you guys to take the leap of faith to throw that tournament ended up doubling it. The prize pool is nearly $205,000. I knew you guys were going to get there mid Friday. You guys, I'm pretty sure you guys actually hit it Friday afternoon or early Friday.
I think you're right.
Yeah, at the end of flight 3 or before the close of registration of flight.
I want to say
4.
it was the start of the nighttime flight on Friday,
Right.
where we finally crossed over.
And so you guys have just, with this took another stab for this 150K Danielle birthday bash. I hate to put you on the spot. Any plans for a quote unquote tournament series?
Absolutely.
Love to hear that.
Absolutely. We have so many plans in the works
Yeah.
right now. The birthday bash, so I'm going to take a page out of any NFL coach playbook at the moment and say
Okay.
that we are entirely focused on the game in front of us.
Right. Agreed.
And so we're currently focused on Danielle's birthday bash and putting all of our chips into that pot because we know it'll be a success now. But there are things coming up. So we're looking at tournament series. We're looking at bringing the same kind of creativity and experiments to this. And we've had a number of outside interest of bringing in different companies.
Okay.
And I think the success of the Summer Jam and the potential of the birthday bash that we really think we can do this in-house and achieve it at a high level.
Yeah. I think just with the quality of the staff and everybody getting more experience and you bringing in more people, it's just gonna help. Hayden, so earlier this week, I was under the impression that we couldn't implement the button straddle. I guess at some point today, Eric was able to figure out the button straddle and putting it on there. So yes, and Dory's in the bottom 3 of the 43% VPIP. She may be just trying to lock it up, which I don't blame her. She's sitting with about, oh gosh darn it, the camera's stuck again. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah.
We're learning.
Yeah.
I am surprised that Dory's in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
I just, knowing Dory, she just does not generally lock up her chips at any point. I think she's not been getting the hands to really get her excited to mix it up. So she has inevitably been put in the bottom 3.
Daniel Marks, you are not going to ever VPIP 100%. I will do a 10-1 side bet that you will barely get over 50 if we make it.
Ooh, challenge. Daniel, how quickly can you get here?
You know, Daniel, he won the WPT Choctaw about 2 months ago for nearly 245K.
My goodness,
So
congratulations.
he's a
Daniel.
tournament crusher and a
quite the
cash
achievement.
crusher.
Yeah. Thank you for watching our stream.
Yeah. Interesting. Will Slow playing Trip Queens. It is a dry board in terms of draws. It's a Badoogie board, no draws. Uh-oh. Look for Will to check raise it. Yeah, and she knows she got caught. She's just going to have to fold. Well,
I mean, but if she
may be
doesn't credit him with a queen.
She may be priced in now. That's the
Yeah.
problem. So she's got to call 425 to win. Yeah, good fold. Yeah, she's not quite priced in yet. Yeah,
And he shows the queen, a queen.
yeah, and that's not a bad bet there. You know, with a paired board, 2 queens on there, it reduces the combination of Queen X holdings that a player can have, and so with her having a pocket pair over the 6 and 7, she likes to try to value bet and squeak out a little bit of value from maybe get a hand like with an Ace King to fold, or Ace Jack to fold, or maybe even a smaller pocket pair to fold there.
So I know that in the very beginning of this stream, we announced that we were going to stream until 10 o'clock. We are obviously going to go into overtime. We're not ready to leave this quite yet.
And I'm okay with going into overtime.
I am too.
So Danny is a good friend of mine. Also, he's whenever we get that 5-5-10 game going, he's said that he wants to get in on that action as well.
Fantastic.
So I'm trying to put together a pretty good lineup. So
If anybody can, it has to be you.
I'll do my best. And you know what, for that game, maybe you and I should be in the booth together.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
So you tell me the day, I'll plan around it. This is too much fun.
I think Eric and I talked about, let's get the overhead cam in, let's get the port switches in, the additional camera in, and do some test streams on those and make sure it gets off.
I think it's a good plan.
Ooh.
Oh, Hayden.
I'll have people. So are we setting an over under on Danny's VPIP?
I think this is an interesting element, though. Oh, Daniel accepts the challenge. So for those that are listening, you're missing out on the exciting chat.
Challenge accepted.
So I cannot encourage you enough to both listen and view this.
We have to, okay.
I think we're booking side bets on Danny.
Yeah, so I have some friends in the chat, Kim Hayden and Danny. We have to, what's the VPIP percentage we're going to go with, guys? We got to set the over-under, give him a little buffer.
85% and above.
He's definitely not going to hit 85%. I can tell you that. I don't even think Kim can hit 85. Well, Kim
I think Kim probably could.
Kim can hit 85%. Not too much on this board. On a monotone board.
Couple of top pairs between
here.
QC and Scott.
Yeah, and again,
nobody's really thrilled with this.
Yeah. On these monotone boards, you just have to be really, really careful. QC definitely going to call with ace here.
Cam, you did try.
And I don't think Colt can call here with just pocket threes and the 3 of spades. We did not talk about the Garrett hand because I really don't want to talk about it because that's the only thing that's been talked about the past 2 days. And I want to talk about Poker House Dallas, and I want to talk about these players.
I talked about it briefly earlier, only enough to say that I think that the Deuce 7 game is probably now a relic of the past, and the Jack 4 is the
Jack 4 game is the new game.
It is. So, leaving all the controversy aside, I think Jack 4 is the updated rendition.
At least with Jack 4, you have backdoor Broadway draws and backdoor wheel draws. I mean, technically with 7 Deuce, you have backdoor wheel draw.
At the end of the day, they don't put them in the deck if they can't win.
Look, unless there's a Jack 4 board right there. If you have Jack 4 here, you probably have the nuts.
All right. VPIP. Dory still in the bottom 3 consistently.
Yeah. And I think earlier on she was obviously had a high VPIP, but I think the cards
it leveled out.
Yeah. And so Dory is getting the boot.
She is.
And she may be okay with that.
Yeah, she may not be mad.
Oh, let's hear Eric.
All right, so we are seeing the players that are getting axed. So to Kim's point, this is going to be a bit of a delay.
Right.
While they read this out, so it does slow down the viewing action quite a bit. As Eddie touched on earlier, though, we do have Danielle's birthday bash coming up.
Oh, you guys have the structure sheet?
We have the structure sheet. Yeah, absolutely. So it's out there everywhere. You can see all the information on Poker Atlas, on our social media. It is a $150,000 guarantee. It's coming up, so we're in this month now. It's going to start, I think, Flight 1A is October 20th, which is a Thursday. We're going to do 2 flights a day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Come back for day 2 on Sunday. There are satellites leading up to it. We also have the next satellite coming up this Tuesday.
Correct. And I think we're running satellites for the next 2 Tuesdays. And then for the week, pretty much the week leading up to Flight A of the
every
tournament.
day. That's right. And for those that are asking, it's a $500 buy-in going into that tournament. It is a $150,000 guarantee. We have high expectations to double the guarantee once again. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And it truly is Danielle's birthday. So Danielle is the other great GM here.
I still haven't got her in the booth yet. I told her I was going to get both 1 or 2 of y'all in the booth for the summer bash, but didn't get a chance for that to happen.
We're going to try our best. Now, you are going to see a very happy Danielle on day 2. So the day 2 is her birthday, the 23rd. So I would not be surprised if we don't see Danielle come in with a sash, a crown, potentially a scepter, and probably a fistful-sized drink walking around the room. So she's going to be happy.
So Kim, on the VPIP game that we tried to run on Tuesday, we didn't get enough alternates. She made a suggestion when I brought her in the booth that the person with the lowest VPIP, or the 2 lowest players in the VPIP game, that they get an opportunity to buy their seat back. Meaning, so if they're in the bottom 3, they give the table everybody at the table a quote unquote bounty of maybe $25.
Oh, that's interesting.
To retain their seat. What do you think about that? That's an interesting twist to this game.
I'm telling you, I love just innovation.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of innovation. I like things to be different. I think, and I think that's what poker is in and of itself. I think it's a generational, innovative game that keeps reinventing itself.
And I just love the things that you guys are doing here. You guys are mixing up with your tournaments, having multiple tournaments a day, different buy-in structure, different buy-in amounts, giving everybody throughout the week. You're giving all players different capabilities, different buy-ins, different budgets to play these tournaments. So
We really put a lot of focus into growing the tournament segment.
right.
There are, I think, 2 real player pools that exist,
Right.
Probably around any card room. So you have your tried and true hardcore cash players,
Yep.
and then there is a segment that is just strictly tournament
Right.
players.
And so any room should try to cater towards both.
Yeah.
But it's just so hard to balance that out.
It
But
is.
I think you guys, in the short time you guys have taken over, you guys have just done a really good job of trying to cater to both cash and tournament players. A couple of suggestions to me for tournaments, like maybe one day doing a free roll, like not a true free roll, but one of those free
a
rolls.
rebuy frenzy kind of thing.
Yeah,
a
it's one
free
of,
roll frenzy.
one of the things like you come in and do a staff add-on. You get a true free roll where you get X amount of chips, and then you can buy, $20 for 5K, whatever,
I like it.
up to a certain amount, and then at the break, you can add X amount of chips or whatever. And I think I know there's some other players in it that said they want to that I've played with in the cash game that they're interested in getting the tournaments, but they really don't want to fire, like a $300 bullet, a $400 bullet. But I know some of the new players that play your Monday $100 buy-in, there's no guarantee on that tournament, if I recall. But, a lot of people are starting to get it because that's a really good price point for beginners.
It is. It is. Well, and on Monday we also have the no-fee tournament.
That's correct.
So
I
we do
think
that one as well. That has been picking up some popularity. So it's just 100% of the buy-in goes straight to the pool. So the house does not take any admin fee whatsoever.
outside of just their daily entrance fee, right?
Just the
Right.
membership fee to be in the club.
For that day.
That's right. Ken,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us tonight.
Okay, so that's definitely one of the things. Definitely streamline the swap process. That's good. No, it's definitely something I'll bring up with Eric and Matt.
We
y'all
love you
Hey,
too.
For the record, please do not put the deadbolt on, because I will be coming back tonight, and I would be on tilt if that deadbolt's on, and then I have to throw a rock at y'all's room.
So what I'm hearing is there's no banana bread if you can't get in.
Well, I mean, there's going to be banana bread, but I mean, it hasn't been opened yet,
It
so
hasn't.
don't lock the deadbolt. One of the things I've been doing since I've been kind of commentating in the booth again is I've watched other live streams across the nation. Hustler Austin, The Lodge.
Oh yeah.
I've gone back and listened to myself in the stream, and just trying to improve myself. And it's just so much fun being in here. It's definitely a different pace. It's hard, depending on who's in the booth with me. I've had Craig in here, I've had Dan here, you in here, Eric in here. Just learning how to bounce off each other, and the chemistry and whatnot, and just doing the analysis and keeping it engaged for the viewers out there. So it's definitely learn, and it's definitely fun. It's a lot more fun than I anticipated it to be honest with you.
Absolutely agree. So there is quite the learning curve because you don't want to walk all over
Right.
your counterpart when they're speaking. So you're trying to understand the cadence of what they're saying and when there's a pause. And you also want to bring in the table chatter as
Right.
much as you can, especially when it gets really entertaining.
Especially when you have a player like Hee Haw and Dory in there that are just gonna continually just talk and keep it going.
That's
So I thought Dory was booted, but apparently she's not.
So I'm wondering, did we trade 2 players?
No, it was either 2 or 3 players, and so
But yeah.
and there could have been. I think Eric, I heard him say there was a tie between 52% or something, whatever, 32%. So I don't know if there was a tie for third and fourth place and how they determined who was getting the boot.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm happy to see Dory stay at the table
Right.
to see what happens.
Yeah, let's definitely talk to Eric about how we can streamline the swap process.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Eddie's going to step out, see if he can put that suggestion out there. You all are stuck with me for just a short time being. Thank you again for listening and viewing tonight. It's been an absolute joy. We're going to stay on with this stream. I believe it'll be up to Eric, but Eddie and I are planning to stick around till, I think, 11 o'clock. Oh, so there's some seat changes going on. You can hear that I've turned up the table mics. So we do have some seat changes. You can hear the ambient noise in the room. So those are all things that we're going to improve on here in the near future. We'll be able to isolate the table mics so that you don't hear all the background noise as much. I think that'll make things more enjoyable. ATM, brother, we're happy to have you guys listening and watching. So if it gets you through a work day, all the better. If this is entertaining and enjoyable, then we're doing our job the right way. If there's ways to improve, don't be shy, let us know. For all forms of what we do with this room at Poker House, we take all feedback and we take it seriously. We have very much tried to make this a player's room. So this is the, around the club, we always comment that we want this to be the Cheers of poker. So if you're having a bad day, come join us to make it better. So if you've got free time, come on over. I'd like it to be a place where you just want to be here. I can't speak enough great things about the staff that's here. So the support team here puts in a lot of time and a lot of effort, a lot of hours. They care about the product they put out. Eddie's coming back in now. So I can say from a personal perspective, it's been an absolute joy running this club with Danielle.
You guys have done such a phenomenal job. Again, I've known Danielle from their Houston days, and so her and a handful of people, the main reason I moved up to Dallas, and so just developing the relationship with her and other people, it's just been so much fun and learned so much.
Okay. So we're getting an update from Eric right now that there's going to be another 30 minutes or so of streaming left, but they're going to keep the 2-5 tables alive once the streaming stops, and they're going to be able to keep playing.
Yeah. So when I walked out there to use the restroom, it's now to the final table. So there's still nine players left. So that tournament's going to go to 11:30.
Wow.
At least, unless and I didn't check the blind levels, but I just think there's going to be out there. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. ATM, thank you. We'd love to have you come back out.
We absolutely would.
I think. Was that the last time that you were here? Was during the free roll? Because we made a lot of changes since then. That.
A lot of upgrades.
Upgrades. Yeah.
All the way around, we've gotten better at what we do.
Most notably, obviously, the live stream. But improved staff, improved dealers, a lot more policies and procedures in place that streamline things.
Consistency.
Yeah.
The things that we were lacking quite a few months ago.
Yeah.
So we finally improved on, and we're getting there.
And that's the thing. You know, I'm a CPA with my own practice, and I do, even though I do tax returns for a living, I do a lot of consulting for mergers and acquisitions, and there's going to be and I do a lot of consulting for startups. And so there's always a growing pain, especially on a new quote-unquote business startup, even though all of you have all the experience in the world in the poker gaming industry. Just with any new venture, there's just going to be a learning curve. And one of the things I tell my clients is, one, anybody can come up with the money. The money is actually probably the easiest thing to find, right? And then the product or service obviously has to be good. But what the toughest thing is for any business is to find the right people. Because if you can't find the right people to execute, you're not going to run a successful business. I know that I'm really good at from an analysis side, but I am not good organizationally. And so if I were to, some of the businesses that I consult with, there's just no way. I'm like, I'm just not a good organizer.
It makes perfect sense. And you know what? I think that's critical, especially at a top level.
Right.
So you have to understand where you excel. So where you need help. Nobody has perfect strengths across the board.
Right.
So having the support team around you that can complement your weaker areas, I think creates the recipe that you need for success.
Right. 100%. Now, I'll tell you a funny story of one of my favorite. They're now one of my favorite clients. And it's a husband and wife. And, into four. We got a 4-liner to a flush.
And we don't know what JB has.
Yeah, it's probably going to go check on this ace. Probably both of them have a little bit of showdown value. Let's see here.
The 10-7. Oh, King 10. There it is.
Yeah. So one of the a husband and wife, they were quote unquote interviewing CPAs, and this client, they were at the time I'm 39 now. I think I was like in my early 30s, and he's well over his 50s. Same thing with the wife, and they're sitting me, they're telling me the stories and business, what he's struggling with. Guy was an inventor, came up with some stuff in a specific industry, and I just straight up told him, I was like, I think you're incredibly smart, but you just don't know how to run a business. I legit told him that, and they were interviewing me as a CPA. And
wow.
Yeah, I was like, I just don't think you know how to run a business well. I was like, I think you have great ideas, but you don't have anybody to implement it, execute. And the wife called me back that night. She's like, thank you. No one's ever been able to tell him that, so you're hired. So it was they hired me like that evening.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I tell people, like, you hire me to do a job, and I'm going to tell you what I think.
Exactly.
Looks like we're having some issues with the live chat.
Yeah, it started flickering around. I'm not sure. But I kept trying to see if it'll scroll. Once again, I'm highlighting my ignorance with the software.
Right. No, you're good. Because I probably know just as much as you do on that side. I'm going to go 6 ways to the flop on this board. Nobody having too much. I think JB with the best hand with king high. Is that what it's looking like percentage-wise? Yeah.
Yeah.
Eden betting king 6. Going to get everybody to fold. Picks up the Deadman. And Eden is new to this table, sitting with about 1.7K. So our new players are Eden in the 9 seat.
I think that's the first hand we've seen Eden play.
Quan in the 2 seat. And then, so seat 2 and seat 3 and seat 9 are our new players that have been rotated out. So seat 3 looks like he has a short stack, has just under $300. That's going to be tough to navigate at this table.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think
you're just hoping and praying.
Right. On a game that's definitely playing bigger than 2-5, ideally you're going to want to have at least 100 to 200 big blinds, especially in this game in Texas.
Yeah.
When everybody, you don't necessarily need to match the stack, although I'm a big advocate of that, and I know Kim is and Hayden are to a certain extent. You don't want to match the stack of the best player, but you're going to want to match the stack of the splashiest player.
I think you do. I think if it's a match stack option, you really want to be on the higher side of the stack so that you have the ability to maximize the hands that you're playing.
Right.
You don't want to limit your profitability if you're going to play.
Right. And so when you're playing now, with that being said, a lot of players just don't know how to play deep stack poker. When you're playing deep stack, you should be 3-betting more, should be 4-betting more, should be playing more hands, even in position. And so you can see a lot more flops. And then, you can 3-bet full type things. But when you're short stack, if you're going to 3-bet, you're just going to have to 3-bet rip, right? That's not really good strategy, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so, just being deep allows you some maneuverability, some flexibility post-flop, and even pre-flop. So here we are with a jack-high board, rainbow board. Jake flopping the best in with a top pair, queen kicker. Scott with a gutter and a backdoor spade draw. So what's your biggest surprise here, being in the booth?
I think my biggest surprise right now is how engaged I am with this game.
Yeah.
So I love poker. I love everything about it and watching it. Generally, when I'm watching streams personally, it just makes me want to leave
Right.
the viewing and go play.
Right.
And so I'll quickly, and this is bad to say on stream, but I'll quickly get distracted
No.
and do something else while it's on in the background.
Right. No, it's 100% normal.
But right now, I'm riveted by this. I'm engaged all the way around, seeing the whole card, seeing all of this, and being a part of it.
And it's just fun.
It is.
It's a different aspect, Obviously, as a general manager here, you have general manager duties that you have to tend to.
The inherent stress that comes with the position. Yeah.
It's just a different take on the game.
It absolutely is.
Yeah,
Well, and because I've been on this, the roller coaster of getting this room where we want it
Yeah.
to be,
And
and I think the roller coaster is probably the best analogy. So we spent so much time building the ride
Right.
that Danielle and I very rarely ever get to just enjoy the ride. And I had big plans for how I was going to spend my day here coming in.
Right.
So this
Plans
was
have changed.
It did, and being asked to come in, so Eric was very upfront saying that he had limited options and needed help.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I don't know that I'm going to represent the stream team quite to the threshold that you guys have established, but I'm happy to help if I
tell you what, and I think I can say this on the air, you've done a hell of a job in the booth. It's been a joy in the booth with you. You also offered some great analysis, just talking about poker in general, the room here in general, Dallas poker in general. So kudos to you for being in the booth and just picking up. I think this is very natural for you because you're a sociable person. You like to talk. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but you just like to talk. And so this gives you another avenue to where you get to deal with a game you love, just in a different aspect.
Yeah, I like it. I'm enjoying it. I think on the flip side, I'm also reminding myself of how much we don't hang out as much as I think I would enjoy.
We
So
definitely need to hang out.
we need to plan a time out.
Yeah, I think the last time we went out was when we went to,
Dinner.
was it dinner or was it IHOP at like 3 o'clock in the morning?
It was.
Yeah.
The,
We're never going to that. We're definitely not going to that IHOP ever
Oh
again.
my goodness. Was that the same night where it was like 3 restaurants in before we finally settled?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness. That was our trip to White Castle moment.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
ATM, we are 24 hours. So we will definitely, usually, especially, we're 24 hours. Definitely Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you'll see those games running overnight.
Yeah.
Maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you may not see an overnight game. But definitely Thursday, Friday, Saturday going into Sunday morning, we'll have usually 2 to 3 tables. Usually it's at least a one $5 or $10 bomb pot table, and then 1 or 2 500 cap.
Typically, yeah,
Yeah.
that's our average. I want to say, though, and I could be wrong, but I think that last night we had 6 tables at 5 a.m.
Did y'all really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I mean, I think the overall vibe in the room is kind of changing. You can feel the energy
Right.
for sure, going up and up every week.
All right.
From our perspective, we're elated with this. So people come in, the environment in the room is really high energy. I love seeing the new faces.
And I'll tell you, one of the things that I talked about with Eric with this live stream, I think I've mentioned it a few times before. I don't know if we have any new viewers, if they're the same viewers, but one of the things we wanted to do here is stream on a more regular basis compared to other rooms across the nation, not just even locally or across the state, but just nationally. And that's a really neat concept because a lot of other rooms only stream bigger state games or bigger tournaments or just the final table of a tournament.
That's right.
Here at Poker House, at some point during the week, again, we're probably, we're not going to stream every single day. Maybe we will at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Once we have the staff and the people trained efficiently. But a lot of, we'll have our normal 1-2 game that gives a lot of players that would normally not get an opportunity to be on a live stream to play and let their family and friends know about that. On our $100 Katie's tournament on Wednesday, we'll be streaming that table going forward on a regular basis. Maybe not this week, but I think the week after that. And so people that don't normally get the opportunity to play on a live stream, it just riles them up, makes them excited because they know they have a chance of potentially making a live stream when other places across the state, across the nation, they're never going to get that opportunity to play on a live stream.
Absolutely right.
Right.
So, and that's a conscious decision.
Right. And again, with the summer bash, and this is the same concept that we're going to carry forward with Danielle's birthday bash. At the conclusion of registration, we will start streaming the final table. I'm not sorry, a featured table at the end of registration. So every night or every flight, there's going to be a set of new people on a featured table. Again,
Absolutely right.
for players that would just never would ever get a chance to be on a live stream, and then obviously streaming Sunday in the final table. But when Craig and I were in the booth, gosh, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we were in the booth till 3 a.m. 3 days in a row. But you know what? It was fun.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So let's see what Hee Haw does here. It's going to be a chop pot. ATM, what stakes do you want to play? I can make sure we get you on the stream.
Absolutely. Well, and to that end, so this is our shiny new toy.
Yeah.
Admittedly so. We're putting a lot of resources into this, so it's quite the investment. But we're so excited that we want to keep it going. And that's what you were talking about, Eddie, is that we're not isolating this to just one or two major reasons to do it.
Right.
If you have a stream and you have players or friends that want to put together a stream or an idea, even if we are full in the evening, we will pre-record it ahead of time during the day.
That's a good idea.
So at any point, if we have notice, we'll put a production team together, and we can run your game and then record it and air it at a different time.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
So we got options.
Now, on that last hand, on what would be a chop pot, Alexa bet 400 into 1,000, gets, I believe, who was it? Jake to fold?
They've moved seats, so I'm not entirely sure now.
So if that's me if I'm having the option to call or fold or make a bet, I read that. No, he didn't. He folded, but I see that bet as a blocker bet.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to come in and come over the top.
That's what I mean. Do you raise?
Yeah, I raise there.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I see a $400 bet, like a 30-40% bet on the river, that's a type of blocker bet, A, to potentially get you to fold, but it's like, let me see where I am, and I'm coming over the top.
Yeah, exactly right.
Probably shouldn't give you my strategy online, but that's neither here nor there.
I've got the world's worst memory, and I won't tell.
I'm talking about the other viewers in the chat, so. Jake in the middle position, going to open 9-7 suit. I actually like that hand. That's one of my favorite hands, actually.
One gap suited?
Yeah. And if you smash the board, it's a very disguised hand, for the record.
It is. It is. Speaking of, one got shot away.
I'll tell you what, even though this board doesn't hit his actual hand, the ace is definitely in his opening range.
Right.
So he should be betting his entire range here, and he does, and he gets a fold. Perfect.
Yeah.
We still have about 5 or 6 players on the feeder table.
Nice.
Yeah, on a 2-5. So, and this is actually a great idea because one of the things we're trying, one of the cash games specifically that we're trying to build is our 2-5 game.
Yes.
So this is a really good chance. We can maybe host this. I don't know what night of the week works best. And so again, for all those viewers in the chat, we're trying different things throughout the week to see what stakes, what tournaments work better for everybody's schedule. So we're not quote unquote locked into a schedule per se. I think Patrick's game is going to move to Thursday, so that game is locked in, and the next gen guys have the Sunday. But in terms of the other days of the week,
yeah, I think we got options.
Yeah, we have a lot of options. So
I think Razor Piggy's probably going to hold a Tuesday.
Okay, so maybe Tuesday.
Wednesday is either going to be final table of Katie's game or a cash game that comes in.
Yeah.
So we have an opportunity on Wednesday. So the Duck stream is going to be Thursdays moving forward. And
Correct.
then, like you said, next gen on Sunday.
And I've been getting a lot of interest, and I think we're going to garner a lot more interest now based off the viewers that are still in the chat and were in the chat earlier. I've literally been getting text messages the past 72 hours about they want a bunch of players that want to play a 5-5-10 game. Splashy pairs, guys that that are professionals, that are regs. Yeah, so I think my list was probably 6 or 7 before, is now more than doubled.
That's
already.
fantastic.
So
Well, if you're watching this stream and you're listening and you want to be on that 5-5-10 game, so the live stream game, we're trying to put it together. Send us your information however you need to.
Yeah.
You can go on the Facebook chat us, chat me. You can send it here. Add your name to the chat right now.
Yeah.
We'll take your information down and add you to that list.
And we've talked about this for a couple weeks now. Have we set up a live stream email address yet, so viewers?
There is.
Do you have the actual email address?
I don't want to give the wrong address.
No, that's fair.
Eric does.
Okay, so I think that's one thing,
But there is an address set up.
perfect that we can put together, and then we can start putting together a database of players and the stakes that they're interested in, and as we announce it, obviously, so some of these cash games are going to be run kind of slightly impromptu. Hopefully, some of them. We're gonna just try a bunch of different things throughout the week, kind of see how YouTube is in terms of viewership, where things lie, and where our numbers look good in terms of viewership, and obviously slot certain games and certain tournaments into certain days and times that fit, that work well with our viewership base. And so over the next, the only thing I know guaranteed that we have is Daniel's Daniel's birthday bash in October.
That's right.
In terms of all these other days, obviously next gen on Sunday, and other players.
Yep.
Other games, all these other stakes, all these other tournaments are pretty much fair game.
There is some fluidity.
Yeah.
And so it's a giant puzzle. We're trying to move around the pieces and see what complements the best.
Right. Now, flopping top 2 pair, bets 325 into a pot of 400. Very sizable bet.
Yeah.
And again, leading into 3 other players. And so making it a bet that wants to deny equity. So Dory with open-ended. Let's see if she peels one off. Oh, it's Scott. He's got a decision to go all in for his chips.
Oh.
And I don't think he can go all in.
Yeah, I don't see how you do here. I know his stat.
No, he says all in to call. Wait.
all in to call. Wait, how's it all in to call?
Yeah, when he has 900. I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, I think something on the action tracker
Yeah.
did not update correctly.
I don't see how you can make the call here with action behind and you having assuming his cards are correct and the board is correct. I'm pretty sure that those are correct. I don't see how you can make the call with action behind. And knowing that you have no spades, you have really no backdoor equity.
Right. Now with the...
He
I'm
makes
very
the call.
confused. Now I'm not so sure we do have the correct cards
Yeah.
that we're seeing. So...
Dory's going to peel one off.
I'm a bit baffled by this. So the 2 doesn't improve anybody's hand.
That's going to be, he's going to make a pot-sized bet.
And so now you have... Yeah, you got to protect your hand. You want to take off the spade draw that we know nobody has.
And so, for those of you that are new, you bet for 3 reasons, right? One is to deny equity, that's the purpose of his bet. He's trying to deny equity to straight draws, to flush draws, making a pot-sized bet, pot-sized bet. And I don't know if Scott's cards are correct because it looks, and he's going to make the call. So, I don't think pockets. If he makes a call with pocket 6s, then
And he only wants to go once. I'm going to turn up the table mic. You hear Dory on the side. Dory did fold her hand.
Gets his hand to hold, and I believe felt Scott.
It does look like that. Yeah, Scott did get felt, so maybe
Let's
he
see
did
if he's
have
going to
pocket
reload.
sixes.
Looks like he's done. So it looks like we're going to get another player in for the next 15, 20 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
Dory back in the top 3 in chips.
Yeah. She did get her stack up to, so she came to the table with 1.3K, got it up to about 6.2, lost a little bit of chips, but I mean, she's still very profitable. And thank you, Chris. Are you talking about this specific game, the
VPIP concept?
the 2-5 VPIP concept? And please, for those of you in the chat, if you have any other suggestions in terms of games and twists to games, let us know. I think we definitely take that to heart.
Yeah, we're open.
That's one of the things I love to hear about Poker House. If a player, if a player or a group of players suggest something, you guys are like, let's give it a shot. The worst thing is that happens is you try it one time, it doesn't work. But the fact that you guys are giving players an opportunity to give their input and actually implementing the input that they give you, it says a lot about your club that you guys want to succeed. You guys want to take players' suggestions into account, and I think that's how you grow your player base and your loyalty base.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's the right recipe for us. And our strategy going in with that thinking is for just straight static vanilla poker that you kind of come to expect in any poker room. There's plenty of options out there already providing that.
Right.
So we don't add value there if we're just trying to provide the same that everybody else is doing. So our favorite thing in our meetings and privately is let's look at what's being done universally and find the gap of what's not being touched, and let's experiment there.
Touche.
Which, to that end, we have a stream coming up this Thursday that is probably going to get promoted on Monday. So you're going to get the early announcement here. So just by viewing this stream, it's going to be put out on a graphic on Monday, I believe, but we're going to do an Ambassador Tag Team live stream tournament.
When is this?
This is going to be Thursday. So
What time?
we're hearing about it here first. I'm going to double check. I believe it's 7 p.m.
Okay.
But by ambassador, what we mean is there are many other area rooms here in DFW. And so we've invited each of those rooms to come in, wear their own gear, bring a one sheet of whatever it is that they're promoting, what their tournaments are.
That's an excellent idea.
And so we are leading the charge on this and bringing them in and just showing solidarity.
Yeah.
So the message out there of, save Dallas Poker and support Dallas Poker. Well, we want to really bring that message to the stream.
Right.
So they get to come in and they've gotten to pick 2 ambassadors that represent their club to the values that they expect.
Who have you picked for your ambassadors?
Our ambassadors, I believe, well, I don't want to name the names because I don't know for sure if
Gotcha.
they said that they could commit. But they're currently ambassadors of the club already. So we will see. But the surprise of the ambassadors is part of what I'm excited about.
That sounds fun.
There is going to be a trophy to go with it. There's a little bit of bragging rights and for lack of a better term, a booby prize for all the losers.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this. So we'll be openly discussing all the great clubs around us and what they're providing as well.
Yeah.
So there's a tremendous community here, just in poker in general, but especially here in DFW.
Yeah, and so I come from Houston, and I don't know if you knew this or not, but just the rooms never ever worked, and they don't necessarily need to work together, quote unquote, right? But they were more trying to go against each other, which there's enough player pool to do that, to be competitive but still complement and work with each other.
Yes.
So it looks like we have Mr. Eric Anderson in the booth at the end of the stream.
The guru himself.
Yeah, we have 3 mics, so we can get 3 people on the mic here,
We're
right?
going 3
We
wide.
have 4 mics?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get you in.
Let's go 3 wide.
All right. Let me grab a chair.
Yeah.
All right. Eric's going to come back. He's going to get a chair, come join us, or a stool. We're going to go 3 wide for the last bit of this stream. Once again, thank you all for hanging with us. This has been a really enjoyable Saturday night for me. I hope it has been for you as well. I look forward to doing this again. It was a real treat to get in to sit in with Eddie.
Right, I'm way over here. I think.
Are
on
you
the
green?
4th one, maybe try that. Yeah, that sounds
here
great.
There we go. Welcome
What
to the
a
stream.
fun game to watch.
Oh, my goodness. It has been a joy just to commentate on it and to see it in here.
Oh, so fun.
So these players, it was an action-heavy game.
These guys, that VPIP, they
came to
they
play.
wanted to stay on the stream. They did not want to leave.
Now, we had some feedback that Kim was leaving us, Kim Stone.
Yes.
So saying that it was really, the pacing completely came to a halt when we were changing out players.
Yep.
and recommended that we do it more in segments and not so much every hour.
What type of segments would
She was
recommend?
recommending, I believe, I'll have to go back and
And
find
I'm
the
open
chat.
to all.
So she was saying, like,
suggestions. This
maybe
is
you
our first
change
time.
it halfway through the stream. So,
See, but okay, I understand that. But we had 9 players
Trying
that
to
wanted to
cycle
get in.
in.
So some of these players like, oh, it's not. Don't take the top. Don't take the bottom 3. Just take the bottom 1. I said, I've got 9 players who are trying to get in. I've got 3 times to move them. So every hour, I'm going
Yeah.
to take the bottom 3. The one time I only took 2 because we lost a player and I brought Dory in.
and we figured.
And so I only took 2 more. But yeah, that's
What's the feedback from the player perspective? Are they enjoying this concept?
the. Well, they're kind of frustrated.
Are they?
Because they're like, man,
The big stacks
I had a 42% VPIP and I get kicked off for being the lowest. And I'm like, yeah.
All right, you got Eddie coming right behind
All
you.
right, let me move out of the way.
Here, Eddie, I'll stand. Take a chair.
Okay. Which one am I? Which one are you?
You're gonna be that. You can have
The thing about me is I'm the same size whether I'm standing
Right.
or sitting.
True.
They're done.
All right. We are 3 deep now with the microphones
Yeah.
in here.
So Eddie, how do you like the new headset?
I like them.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. And what's a really good turnout. Remember, we were talking this morning about we didn't think this game was going to kick off, and now we have
Right.
a big
Well,
feeder list to this day.
Because so about the Pedro game, and Pedro's, I see him in the chat. So I met him last week, and Adam said, "Hey, go talk to this guy. He has some ideas for you." So I went over and talked to Pedro, and he was like, "Man, I can get 3 tables in here. Let's stream." And I'm like, "All right, cool." And I don't know this guy, so I said, "Are you on Facebook? Let me add you quick." And so we had like 300 mutual friends on Facebook. So
Okay.
I'm like, "Oh, okay." So he's a
he
poker
knows,
guy.
he knows
right?
some people. He knows a few people here and there.
And 300 mutual friends from Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, so
Yeah.
poker players, right? And I said, no problem. You bring in 20 players next week. You bring in 2 tables. We'll stream one of them. And throughout the week, he was going, man, I got like 5.
Yeah.
He goes, everybody that said they wanted to doesn't want to. Nobody can commit. So if you get the other ones, I said, no, Pedro, you said you were going to bring me 2 tables, so
It's your responsibility.
yeah. He's like, I got a few, and some people reached out, and I said, okay, I can get you a couple,
Yeah.
but I'm expecting you to come with 2 tables, and he showed up tonight, and he had and the thing is, I told him we're gonna start at 6, and we'll start streaming at 7, knowing poker players are all gonna show up 20
Like,
minutes
right.
late.
It's like a Filipino party. It's like a Filipino party.
So at like 5 o'clock, I put on the Poker Atlas. I said 2-5 live stream, and it blew up. And I was like, oh. So some of the guys he told could come showed up at like 5:45 without a seat.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, guys,
Next time.
I'm sorry, man. I'll get you on as soon as I can. And that's when Pedro came and said, hey, let's do that VPIP thing you were talking about, because we originally weren't going to do that.
Right.
But he's like, let's do that VPIP thing.
Did everybody know that was going to be a VIP?
Yeah, I
Okay.
said it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when Pedro and I originally talked,
It was not gonna be
it wasn't necessarily
Yeah.
going to be. But then when we had so many people, he's like, yeah, let's do that, and that's the way I advertised it anyway.
That's a great point, though, because now you're letting everybody know that if you're interested in playing on these streams, especially on games like the 2-5 nights,
Yeah.
Right.
if you are interested, sign up early and make sure you're in the
Come
room
early.
ready to play.
And that's the other thing. People that were, I felt bad for a couple of his friends that he told be here at 6, and they were here early, and they
Yeah.
still didn't get a seat. And they're
My
like, man, I
goodness.
would have came earlier. You
Had I known.
You told me 6. I show up at 1:45, and I don't have a seat.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man.
yeah.
Well, again, I told everybody in the chat, conceptually, first of all, this game was kind of, it wasn't necessarily impromptu, but from a streaming perspective, it was slightly impromptu.
It really was.
And the VPIP game,
Yeah.
turning it into the VPIP game was impromptu. So Tuesday was the first day we tried to run it. We got interest, but didn't get enough players.
It wasn't relevant because we only had 9 players, so there was no list.
Right.
But viewers in the chat on Tuesday and people talking, across the city thought it was a phenomenal idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Matty J88, welcome to the stream. Thank
Yeah.
you for watching.
So, first time listening for the stream, or did you play on the stream? I think he's talking about actually joining in on the stream, correct?
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not that bright.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think either one of us are right enough to figure that out, which is why I asked the question.
So
Listening. So, how do you think it went over? How do you think it went overall?
I think it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only complaint was a couple of guys who were at the bottom
Right.
didn't want to, and there was like a three-way tie for third place, and so then I had to go by pre-flop raising,
Right.
and the
So
one
that's how Dory stayed. I'm guessing, was she a part of that three-way tie?
No, Dory actually was not on the chopping block because she came over. So her VPIP would have been way off because she didn't play the first 20
I
hands.
see. That explains it.
So,
Okay.
so that's why I kept Dory and I kept QC because he
They
came
didn't have the
over.
same time in.
Right,
I
because
see.
so he had a lower VPIP, but it wasn't fair to compare his VPIP with the 10 hands versus everybody else's VPIP with 50 hands.
Right.
So you were doing strictly apples to apples comparison.
Exactly.
Right.
So, so if you came over later, you got to stay.
So, we got a couple of suggestions, mainly from Kim. She said one. What did she say? One of her suggestions was
You
trying
probably said just do it once right in the break instead of like breaking it up.
That was one of them, but also she made
Eric is
a
a
comment.
genius.
Yeah, she also made a comment that to streamline the swap out process.
Yes.
So again, conceptually,
Yep.
this is actually the first time we
I-
actually had the VPIP
Yep.
game
No.
where we had enough players
That's right.
to actually rotate in and out. So trial and error.
And what we, the one guy in the one seat who didn't understand English.
Yeah.
And so he didn't realize he was getting kicked off the stream.
Oh.
So he just sat there and wondered why we were racking him up. And he's like, I'm like,
Oh, wow.
no, you have to go. And he's like, he's counting his chips and he thought he was one black chip short. And so he's counting. And I said to Brian, I'm like, what's his chip stack? And he counts and he says, I should have 7. And he only had 6 black chips. And I said, what's his total chip count? And he counts it all up. And it was like whatever it was, 22,060 or 2,265, and I had him down at 2,255. Like I was $10 off, from tipping or whatever.
Right.
And I said, no, that's what you're supposed to have. The math is right.
Luckily,
and he's
we
like,
can verify that.
no,
yes.
7 black chip. I need a black chip. I'm like, he probably bet it somewhere, got changed, something like that. But he was correct.
Yes, ATM. So to answer your question, there is a feeder table going to this live
They did
stream
alternate.
table. So when they get booted off of the live stream table, they go back to the feeder table.
Right.
So they're still playing a 2-5 game. They're not missing out on that action.
And there's still players out on that feeder table, which is
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
And we quit streaming, 15 minutes ago, and these guys are still playing.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
said, go ahead and still play. I took off my $150 deck, gave them a standard deck, and said, keep playing. And now you guys can do Omaha, you can do
Whatever.
double board bomb
Yeah.
pots, you can do whatever you want
They
now.
can rip and run and have a good time.
Boom.
Yeah.
And,
And remember, so Eric is in the room joining us right now in the booth because we're on a 30-minute delay. So he's actually seen the conclusion of this game.
It's 30, right? Is this one was 30 or is it 15?
this is a 30-minute delay
Okay.
because since we were skeptical of it even running,
Yeah.
I didn't plan on having people to staff it.
Right.
So you said you'd be here at 8, and I said, man, all right, I'll put down a half-hour delay.
Yeah.
I asked Matt if he could come in here from 7:30 to 8 until you got
Yeah.
here. I said, just give me a half hour, and he stayed for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
This has been a blast.
Ooh.
Robbie and Garrett. That was fun.
I got to procrastinate all my work and hang
Yeah.
out with Eddie for the
Yeah.
entirety of Saturday night.
For good reason.
Oh,
This is
we
great.
missed a hand.
Yeah.
JB's got the bottom straight. Quan's got the top straight. And if you haven't noticed, Quan has been. He came over and brought action with him.
Yeah.
He's like, "What's the max I can straddle?" I said 5x. He goes, "Okay, 25." Boom, 25, 25. So
Is that y'all are allowing them to do 5x on the straddle?
5x straddle.
Oh,
Oh.
we didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either. I thought it was
So-
just like.
It didn't come up until Quan came over and he says, "What's the max I can straddle?" And I said
Nice.
5x.
Okay.
Oh.
And
I-
are we
I-
seeing this correctly? So now we have the ability to do the button straddle and have it indicated.
Okay.
So how is this? Because we were under the impression that
user
was not
error?
an option.
It was user error. So what it was, you can do it, but you can't do a Dallas straddle like these guys
Yeah.
want to do, where you have last action, because the Dallas straddle isn't a thing anywhere else in the world.
I agree.
So it's just and my hypothesis is somebody from Dallas went and saw the straddle, came back, explained it incorrectly, and you guys just ran with it and said, no, last action, ultimate last action. That's not a thing anywhere. But
I kind of like it though. No one ever says it. And we
yeah.
have Aaron Barsh watching from Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Thanks for joining us on Eastern Standard Time, where it's 11:45 over there. So
Thank you for watching the stream.
super fun. What was it? What was the question that I started to answer? Oh, the straddle.
The straddle.
So
And
yeah,
representing it on the graphics.
What I said is you can't do the Dallas straddle.
Right.
You can do a button straddle, and then it's like a Mississippi straddle where
Okay.
Action then starts.
right in the small blind.
That's right.
So the small blind acts first, and when Min was doing it, now I need to train these guys
Yeah.
more. That's why I had Craig do it the last 3 times to get more and more practice. He accidentally put down the big blind as 10.
So he made a 3 blind.
So no, he made it 1-10.
oh.
And then
Yeah.
he went, oh, wait, that's not what I do. And he put the button correctly in the straddle.
gotcha.
But now the computer thinks that the big
So when it
blind
comes
is
back
10.
to the straddle, then
So
he thinks he's already active.
He's like, man, no, he's like the straddle. It just went to under the gun because the big blind was 10. And
Yeah.
so all the dealer did, all the button did is call.
Right.
He didn't straddle. So it started in under the gun like
and it
normal.
creates some confusion now
And-
for the
and
commentators.
oh man, this is wrong. This is wrong. And I was like, no, it's not. And I'm like, why is it doing this? And then I realized what he did.
I see.
And that's just training, user error.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
Oh,
yeah,
we've been going through that in here too.
Yep.
for sure. How's it going? Everything good?
Yeah, I think we
so.
got a lot of positive reviews in the chat. We had one of our bigger viewer bases for this evening.
It was fun.
We had well over 50 viewers,
Nice.
which is
At one time.
outside of the final table of the Summer Bash. Is one of our biggest. Yeah. So, and Matt, you can see we were still 7 players left in our. Yeah,
That tournament's too good. It started at 3 o'clock. We're pushing 11 o'clock.
with 7 players left.
There's
We had
still
almost
almost a full
60
table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's and they're in the money now.
Yeah.
It looks like they came up with a little chop deal and gave 7th place their money back.
Okay.
With almost 5,000 up top in a 280 buy-in tournament.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
My
The structure is really too good.
Yeah.
35K,
Yeah.
30-minute levels.
I think that's why we're seeing it grow every week.
Yeah, they're the tournaments are
They're improving.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting good.
Yeah, the fields are getting really decent.
And I was telling Matt, just over the course since we started live streaming, since you came on board, since Matt and Danielle have become co-general managers, and just the quality of the staff, getting this live stream together, or just the room has, and then with the next gen partnership, things is just exponentially compounded in terms of the growth of the room and the overall just getting players to come play cash, these tournaments.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah, we're doing some good things over here.
So I know we've been kind of just chatting, not really talking about the. I forgot, Matt. You told me it was a 30-minute delay, so I'm automatically assuming there's on a 15-minute delay.
Right.
So I was just kind of like doing table chatter, knowing that the chat
Yeah.
that was going to end.
In 15 minutes, it's going to be done. No,
Yeah.
we got a full down push.
Yeah, another 15, 20 minutes probably because we've been just chatting. So
Now, I do let them do a Omaha
flip.
flip.
Right, we saw that.
I'm like, I don't want you guys bending. The problem is these cards are really fragile.
Yeah.
And when we play Omaha, they bend the cards so badly. I lose so many decks. You remember when I was in Houston 2 years ago, we did an Omaha game and I broke like all the decks and.
And I know you guys have to order more decks, right?
We have.
We did. I just got an email. They are in customs in.
That makes me so excited.
In California right now.
Okay, good.
We ordered 20 new decks for Danielle's birthday bash.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds like a reasonable amount.
It might be a little light.
Since we started the live stream, since the Summer Bash, how many decks have you burned through?
Before this,
Ooh, we've been babying them and
Yeah.
trying to just
Yeah.
so we went through 15 the first week I was here.
Hi-ya.
And that's no dealer training. They were
Right.
wrecking the decks.
Keep in mind,
they were
guys,
they were
that's-
shuffling roughly.
Yeah.
And that's why I had to I kicked everybody off the
Yeah.
table. I was like, give me this guy, and then I said, give me some dealers. Let me train them on how to do this. This is a big hand.
And these decks are north of $150 a piece, is that right?
Right. We're shipping out of Australia.
Yeah.
I like to get him from Faded Spade, but he's totally out. So I went back to Australia and ordered them, and going through customs and everything else. It's not cheap to run this stream.
So interesting line that QC took. He just Jake opens under the gun with King Jack offsuit. QC elects just the flat and cold call with pocket queens, and then to the flop on this 7 high board, Jake leads out. C bets his entire range for 125, and QC min clicks. What's it called? So that's a very similar line that he took against Kim on Tuesday when he 3-bet out of the small blind and he checked min raise.
And he flopped a set of
He flopped a set of queens. So
he had ace 10 on an ace queen 10 board.
now I know that if he min raises or check min raises,
Yeah, min clicks.
I'm auto fold, auto fold. Yeah, and viewers in the chat still talking about the Robbie Garrett hand. I just don't know what to think about it. It's too much. I actually watched it live, so I was texting.
I know. I remember.
Yeah. Eric was. I was in the chat for the Dale Hansen thing that you guys had Thursday night.
That's right. The
and I
charity
said,
event.
I'm literally, saying
Today is Friday?
Saturday.
Today's
Saturday.
Okay.
I made a suggestion because there was an issue with the YouTube title, blah 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 blah, and I literally said, "Craziest thing going on in Hustle Life Casino," and I got out of y'all's stream to watch all this stuff, and it was just the craziest thing ever, and I still
You see
don't.
Danielle had a royal flush on
I did
Thursday?
saw that.
All right.
Sure did. She connected a gut shot on the river.
She had the 10 for bottom
She had
pair.
King 10 or Queen 10?
I think she had king 10.
King 10 of clubs.
And queen of clubs on the
You river
with the
max value.
and she got it all because the guy she was up against was a realtor who was just there for fun.
Yeah, just for support.
And he just paid it off
With sixes, I think.
No, he paired his queen.
Oh, okay. I thought he had 6s or something like that.
He was leading out the whole way because he had the gut shot with
That's
the
right.
queen on whatever it was.
Gotcha.
Ace Jack 10. Yeah, Ace Jack 10. He had the queen, and then the river comes a 10. So now, or the queen.
The queen.
So the queen of clubs. So he's like, well, now I've got 2 pair, or whatever it was, and yeah, it was fun.
So on this hand, we don't get to see what Vadim has.
I know what he has. So
And again, Vadim and QC on this live stream.
he straddled, and then he got 5 callers, and he raises it to 75 on his button straddle, and then check, bet, call, check.
Let's see what Vadim does on the river. Interesting board.
What do you think he has?
I think it's a set.
This hand.
He bet 3.
Oh, pocket 10s. Gets max value there.
Look at that.
Yeah, check. He played that in a weird way where he raises 75, and it's funny because Jake's making fun of him, going, "I'm from Ukraine. I bet 75."
Oh, wow.
That's pretty funny.
And whenever Vadim raises,
Jake with 58% and Hee Haw 51.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me that Hee Haw's up there with a VPIP over
Jake
50%.
had no problem staying on the stream.
ATM, thank you for joining us this evening. We'll see you soon. So whenever you make it to Dallas, make sure you stop by Poker House of Dallas.
Absolutely.
Let us know
Good
when you're
night,
going to be
ATM.
here.
Thank you all for listening and viewing.
Oh, Eric, one of the questions
Yeah.
that I asked Matt on the stream, do we have an email set up for the live stream yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so
I've bluffed you.
It's-
yeah, that's okay. No, no.
It's in the works, but I'm trying to think of how to say this nicely. It'll be up and running in December.
There you go.
Yeah, it's it's
The email?
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
The correct website.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to rebrand and redo your website?
Exactly.
Fair enough. No,
Yeah.
that's okay. So for those of you, good, new, fun things coming on here at Poker House,
Always.
going to have a new website address that's going to be in the works probably post
Yeah,
Danielle birthday bash.
Oh,
okay.
for sure. Yeah, in
Gotcha.
in the restructuring that's gone on in the last 6 months,
Right.
we've lost some people who did some backbone stuff that,
Gotcha.
that we don't have access to.
Okay.
So we're redoing all that stuff.
And Old Dad Games, thanks for that comment. in terms of it's refreshing to you for you to hear us not disparaging comments about other streams and the friendly chat. Again, specifically in Dallas, there's just enough players here for all the rooms in Dallas.
Yeah, we don't have to fight over them.
Yeah, and
We don't. There's so many untapped players that
Right.
aren't even in these rooms yet. But so much more than that, I can speak to this. This is a community here in DFW that is unlike anywhere else I've ever been.
I mean, Eric saw it in Houston. It's cutthroat down in Houston.
It is. Well, in a lot of markets,
Yeah.
it's cutthroat.
Yeah,
and we have
agreed.
the potential to do something different here.
Yeah.
The players here overlap in a lot of different ways. And the thing is with all the staff here, we are also players. We also enjoy these other games that we see. We enjoy the other streams
Right.
that we watch. So it makes no sense for us to tear down what it is
Right.
we already enjoy.
Yeah.
So we don't want success on the backs of someone else crumbling.
I think the best way to reach out right now is if you follow Facebook, Poker House Dallas, or Twitter, Poker House Live.
Okay.
Those are the two mediums that I
Okay.
monitor. So Poker House Live on Twitter and Poker House Dallas on Facebook.
Okay.
Send a message that way. Or if you find me, Eric Anderson, I have no privacy settings, so you can go to my personal page and just send me a chat. Oh,
Vadim wakes up with aces here.
Oh, and Dory in the cutoff gonna just flat probably ace jack.
Yay.
pretty
Vadim
big.
raises to 85.
It's a pretty big bet with aces.
now you see the DS is dealer / straddle.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
It does.
And when you do it properly, that's what it does.
Right.
When you don't do it properly and you go, well, I'm just going to have this guy raise to $10, and then it looks like a raise and a 3-bet and a 4-bet, and it doesn't make sense for the people.
Right.
Some pretty light calls out of position from QC and Quan to late position raise. Those are hands you typically don't want to.
Kwan's happy to
Oh,
be here.
wow.
Yeah, and so again, obviously with the king you're going to continue, the ace you're going to continue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nut flush draw. There's a lot of hands that are going to continue.
Yeah, this is a very wet board.
Yeah, Dory's probably not going to continue on this board.
Right. And I don't
Even
see
with the
Jake
ace of
coming
diamonds.
along
Yeah,
either.
Dory's the only one who missed it completely.
And to be honest, multi-way, you either want to just miss completely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake's got middle pair. It might be good, right?
And he's got backdoor diamonds. I mean, it's not the best diamond
guess.
draw.
I'm a little bit surprised by it, but yeah.
In a pot like this
Against-
multi-way, you don't want to play a weak flush draw. You want to play, obviously,
Absolutely.
especially backdoor.
But in Jake's defense, Quan came to the table just gambling. So when Quan bets, it doesn't mean anything at all. So, your 7 might be good here
Right.
majority of the time.
So Quan raises to 700.
QC raises 700.
Or QC, excuse me.
There's a bet
Quan
from the
call.
Vadim in the hijack.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Good fold there.
Yeah.
I see Vadim.
So come back over the top.
Yeah, the stack to pot ratio at this point, with the pot's going to be.
Yeah.
And the 3-bet sizing, it's going to just have to be a jet, and he folds aces.
I was going to say,
goodness.
when this happened, I remember this hand, and I did not know he folded aces right there.
Wow.
But I saw...
And without a whole lot of hesitation.
Yeah.
No, he with Jake calling and then QC
He just thought
check raising
somebody connected a
700.
set or
Yeah.
two pair.
a set, 2 pair, aces.
Or a
with
hand,
no
or a hand
good-
that has a ton that has a turn
or
of
a
equity.
flush draw.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Like a
Once
a
again, Dory,
king,
congratulations. It was fun watching you play.
King, queen of clubs,
Yeah.
and he
Some
just
sort of
doesn't
combo
wanna
draw,
play
queen
with
jack
his
of
aces.
clubs. Yeah. And here's the thing: when you check raise into a field of 4 players, that's a really strong line.
Very strong.
You usually don't see check raise bluffs with that many people in a pot. Again, he actually may think he has the best hand there, for the record.
Oh, I think he probably does. I don't think it was a move. I think he's trying to eliminate the draws.
He absolutely thinks he has the best hand.
Yeah. Nobody puts Vadim right there on aces.
Jake just can't call here.
Jake- no,
first
Jake-
of all, yeah, if you're gonna play 7-8 suited there, you just got to get it all in.
Jake almost called.
Yeah.
He's like he's like, you have a flush draw. I should call here. I know I'm ahead. You have
Yeah.
I know you have a flush draw.
Hand like QC can have a hand like king 10 of clubs, king jack of clubs, king queen of clubs. So many combination draws that he has are just
Right.
calling out of the small blind or the big blind.
So this is the last hand.
Okay.
And they said, let's do a $50 flip. And I do let them do double board Omaha, because I said we'll do Omaha if it's a flip. I don't want you guys bending the card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go ahead and flip up their cards.
Well, here,
it's a
good.
double board.
Turn
Yeah,
up the
let's
mic
listen
for
to
it.
him.
The only thing is that don't bend the cards.
Yeah, there you go. There's Eric
Me yelling
saying,
at him.
I'll flip them over.
And these three put another 50 on the side between themselves.
That's so degen. I love it. That's something I would do.
You got like a VPIP of 12, don't lie.
What's that? Oh yeah, my VPIP is like I'm definitely getting booted out.
Don't get crazy, man. Don't get crazy. Okay, you want to make it 50? Let's
This ended up being a good stream.
Really good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Extremely exceeded my expectations.
Yes, same.
For the record, me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
In my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to commentate tonight. It's gonna suck.
I'm glad you came.
Yeah.
You made my night.
Matt and I had a good time in the booth.
Yeah,
How'd Matt do for his first time?
Matt did
it was rough.
And I'm not saying this because he's in the booth with me. He did a phenomenal job. We got a lot of comments that we sounded really good together in the booth.
Excellent.
Yeah, I can't
Now-
remember the last time I've had this much fun.
Since it's a flip, I have to go check, 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 check.
Just to keep the action
Turn.
moving.
Check, 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 check.
Oh, that makes sense.
River, check, 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 check.
And that's how we get to see two boards.
So everybody's flipping their cards up. I'm manually typing in some cards that because they didn't read well,
Right.
So let's see.
So QC
and
with
now I'm
trip
doing check, check, check.
ace. No, he flopped the boat.
Dory left
On
so
the
she's
top
not even
board.
here.
So he had ace 8. So QC has
Ace 8. Yeah. So
pretty much the nuts.
yeah.
All these people have 0%.
Yeah. And Jake's got the bottom.
Yeah. Looks like to be chopped between QC and Jake, depending
That's
on
what
the
it
run
looks
out.
like. So for those that have hung on, this is the final hand of the night. We're ending it on a double board PLO bomb pot flip.
And
It's a mouthful.
King is pushing out. Jake
Yeah.
and QC chop it up. And Terrell's going to come in. I'm going to swap out the deck. And we're done. Now, if you care, I do go through and I tap all of the stats if we want to hang on a minute.
Okay.
You'll see the VPIP, the pre-flop raising, the aggression frequency.
let's definitely see that.
The went to showdown.
And now, for the record, I think there's an option on here for us to do that. You showed it to me once before, but it's kind of
So
weird, right?
That's
That's not even a 15-minute delay. That's right.
right.
Something like-
Well, there's a program called the commentary booth that we don't use here.
that's right. I remember.
And in the commentary booth, you have those options. If we did it here, it would show in the future. You know, so like if we were to
there we
click
go
it
with the
now,
VPIP.
there it is. And
Jake
I
Kwan,
count.
Hee-Haw, 50% above. Pre-flop
Oh,
aggression rate. Vadim, again, new to the table. JB, Kwan,
Yeah,
18%.
small sample size.
Yeah. Very small sample size.
Andy down there 10%, but he only played like 10 hands.
Yeah.
Right. Same with Eden. He wasn't here very
Went to
long.
showdown.
Small's one of my favorite people in the world coming in on the stream. Thank you for listening. So Stacy goes by another nickname, so we know her as Smalls. So
Okay.
within the community.
Okay.
So again,
Has she came and played here before?
not to my knowledge,
Stacey, why not?
but
Why,
Then I
why,
left, it on,
right.
I left it on chip.
Does she live in the DFW area?
she does.
Oh, man,
she's a
I-
beast too.
For
She
the
used to
record,
play
Stacey,
all the time.
I don't know you, but I'm just calling you out on the stream to get you to come to Poker House Dallas.
I would love to see Stacy come in.
Oh, did you tell everybody about the new tournaments we're doing in the morning?
Fill us in.
So the PLO bomb pot. So a couple of weeks ago, I got here at like 9:30 a.m. and there's 5 dealers playing a PLO double board bomb pot tournament
remember
for like
this well.
$20 because
Like a little sit and go for
a
fun
little
amongst them?
Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
And it was they had too many dealers and like 3 players and they
Right.
said, hey, let's just do this. And Eric, what's his last name? I don't remember. Won it.
He goes by Cuz, Eric Cuz, but I
Yeah,
don't. It's
yeah.
a bigger last
It's
name.
whatever
but
it is, cause whatever
in the
it is.
room, you know him as Cuz.
Yeah.
So, it was super fun, and I said, "Hey, if you guys want to do this tomorrow, I'll
Right.
stream it." And it must have been Monday when we did that because Tuesday we said come
And
back
we had an open.
and stream it,
That's right.
and they were super. We had 21 people show up, $100 buy-in.
At 10 o'clock in the morning on a week.
I think it was 9 a.m.
I was gonna say I don't even think it was
It
On a
was-
weekday?
It was 9 a.m.
We
on
were
Tuesday.
all surprised.
We had,
Dang.
I thought we'd get 6 or
Degens.
7 people come
Yeah.
in, and I would stream it. I'm like, I guess I'll stream the final table.
And the energy at 9
Yeah.
a.m.
It
was
was
so
so
high in the room.
That's
And-
fun.
So we had 2 or 3 of those tables going, plus a few
and then-
cash tables
and
going.
they jumped into the bomb pot tables right away,
Right.
and we were going, wow, this is great. Let's just do this whatever, Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll just do it every day.
Right.
And the next time we had like 14, and then we had like 6,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of fell off. Because I said I'm not going to stream it anymore because that double board bomb part, you're wrecking my cards.
You're right.
You know, with the Omaha.
It was
so we
an
didn't
expensive
stream
live and
it.
learn.
Yeah,
Right.
but we said you can still play, and they're like, well, I don't want to play if we're not streaming it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I talked about. I talked about on the stream that one of the neat things that we're doing here at Poker House is a lot of other rooms, not just locally across the state or even across the nation, they generally only do like high stakes games.
Right.
Or final tables tournaments.
Right.
One of the things we want to try to do to differentiate us from all these other rooms, anywhere, is games of all different stakes, tournaments of all different buy-in sizes,
Right.
to give an opportunity for those players that would normally not get a chance to play on a live stream, the opportunity to play on a live stream.
Yeah,
And
we're
so,
streaming final tables of
Yeah.
$100 tournaments on Wednesday nights.
and even on our multi-flight tournaments, we're not just streaming the final table; we're streaming the end of the flight at the close of registration.
Yeah, registration closes
Yeah.
at like level, the second break. So
Right.
level 8, we start streaming.
Right.
So you don't have to make it to the final table of a $500 tournament. You can make it to level 8 and get on the stream.
Yeah, may play for only for an hour or two, but you get your little 5 minute.
You get a couple hours
Yeah,
every
on stream.
flight. We're playing 6 flights. If you haven't talked about.
Right.
Oh man, we're getting off tangent. So our new tournaments,
Yeah.
we're doing a short deck tournament.
When are we doing
on
that?
Saturday nights.
Okay.
Today's Saturday. It didn't go tonight because I just put it in like
Yeah.
this morning and people didn't know about it. I need to advertise better. So a short deck tournament where we get rid of the 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
And
We did a test stream on that.
we,
and that
we
went
did
well.
that and it went well. We got
Yeah.
crushed by the guys who didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
And we did stream that.
They put
though.
me on tilt for the record. So I'm like,
Heard.
They're called, because they don't know. They think 6, 7 suited. That's a
yeah.
good hand,
One of
right?
your, I think it was Gene. One of your newer dealers came. He thought it was a short-handed tournament, like six max,
Like a 6
Yeah,
max.
Like a six
that's what
max?
he
One of my
thought it was.
favorites.
and he did not realize. No, short deck means we're taking out 2 through 5. So like, it's fun, but
It's not dealer friendly necessarily, but I
Right.
would love a 6 max tournament.
I would definitely play 6 max.
Yeah, that would be super fun.
Yeah.
So we added the short deck tournament on Saturday nights. We added a turbo on Saturday mornings.
Okay.
Like a 10 a.m. 125, I think, where it's like a deep stack turbo, like 35K starting stack, 10-minute levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's deep stack, but it's quick. You can start at 10 o'clock. You can be done at noon.
Yeah.
Low buy-in, fun. So we added that, and we added the satellites. I mean,
Right.
we've been doing that for 3 weeks now.
Yeah, for Danielle's birthday
great
bash.
turnout for the satellites. We had like 60 people last time.
Couple more weeks
How
of
many
that.
seats have you won?
To be honest, I only won one, but I haven't played the other weeks because I've been in the booth.
Right.
It's embarrassing.
So, I know.
Your priorities are all off.
Yeah, I just like being in the booth.
It's so fun.
It's so fun.
My daughter
And
calls
it-
it the Bat Cave.
Yeah.
the back. I love the back.
And it's always positive EV because I never lose in the booth.
Right, right.
I don't.
So
Yeah.
overall,
I'm
so
probably
that's on
up
Tuesday.
just
That's
by
on
not playing.
We yeah. So then so those are the things we've added. Did you talk
Yeah.
about Danielle's birthday bash?
We have.
All right, beautiful.
We talked
6
about
flights.
Yeah, and one of the things we're doing, we're not, with the exception of the Sunday next gen game, Razor Piggies game on Tuesday, and then Patrick's game on Thursday. We're open to other days of the weeks for other
Right.
stakes cash game.
Yep.
We're trying to test certain stakes out, certain days out to see what works best.
I've
for
heard
players.
there's a 5-5-10 game coming.
Yeah, we got a 5-5 coming. Once we get
Yep.
some of the
Another one.
Yeah,
And one of the I just blanked on his name. The guy who came late to the table, Quan.
Yeah.
He was like, "When are you going to start streaming 1020?" And I was like, "As soon as we get people who
Yeah.
want to, I'll stream
would
whatever."
love to.
And like Razor Piggy's game, that's a 5-5-10 that
does
turns
not-
into a
that is not
5-5-10 20-40
That's
80.
exactly
Yeah.
right. 2 hours later. Yeah.
so
They like to play up in those Arkansas Razorbacks come down and they gamble it up. Super fun. Anything else before we say goodnight?
No, I think for an impromptu 2-5 VPIP cash game, it turned out well for the players, turned out well for you on the action tracker, for Matt and I in the booth. So,
Yeah, I think it was great.
yeah.
I think we're ending on a success.
Yeah.
Pedro, if he can get me 2 tables again next week, we'll do it again next week.
Same
And-
bat time,
Yeah,
same bat channel.
If you guys wanna play, come here early.
And we'll definitely make the announcement
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah,
Again, this-
and that's the other thing. I mean, this
Right.
is partly my fault where I didn't give Pedro his due that he deserved because he told me he was only getting 4 or 5 people.
Right.
So I didn't bother advertising it at all until he said, "All right, well, we're coming over," and I went, "Well, let me just throw something on Poker Atlas and see if I get any
Right.
interest," and it just blew up. So we'll start advertising for next week, and it'll be great.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all once again for watching with us, staying with us, joining.
Yeah, past
Please
the
hit
11
that-
o'clock hour.
Yeah, we gave you the bonus extra hour.
Yeah,
We're having so much
overtime.
fun. We didn't want to leave it. So hit the like button, hit the share, keep joining us. We want to grow this audience.
Yep.
Yeah, we want to see you next time. Thank you for making this a success for us.
right.
Have a great night and a great weekend.
All right.